And welcome back to another episode of the WRK podcast, where we ask the questions, but at the end of the day, who really knows? As always, I'm your host, AJ, here with my good friends Dylan and Michael.
What? Hey.
We're also joined once again with our good friend Al.
Woo!
What up, boys?
We brought him on for the stock expertise that he has.
Don't ask
expertise. We'll air quote that.
This episode is not anywhere near financial advice to you. I just want to disclose that now.
If we make any advice, don't follow it.
We talk about farts, pussies, and politics on this show. So, you know what? Don't take financial advice from us, but you can follow us on Twitter at WRKPod, on Instagram at WRKPodcast. You can hit up our Patreon page, patreon.com/WRKPod. There's going to be a nudie calendar coming out next year. So I got a photographer lined up. We're going to be taking some tasteful, elusively nude photos.
Jennifer Aniston doesn't have shit on us.
Nah.
I think Al said he might be Mr. December.
We're going to unbox him. But
it's like a calendar. Each day you pull down a picture. There's a new nude of me for 31 days.
Yes.
And if you want
for
that,
every month. 365 tasteful nudes of Al Windling.
if you want that, hit up the Patreon page to fund it a little bit. We don't need a whole lot of funding for it because it's a passion project for us. But
True, but if you were gonna follow any financial advice we have to offer,
it's
help
the
out the
Patreon
show.
page. Yeah.
get the show rolling.
That's the
If
best
there's-
financial advice that you're gonna get on this episode. is-
Honestly, why would you put money into the stocks when you could just put it towards the Who Really Knows podcast?
Exactly.
Your return is going to be way better.
Oh, the return is gonna be insane. And if you need links to any of that, you can find it on WRKpodcast.com. And yeah, you'll see a picture of us in the rock there.
Yeah.
Only the real ones know that reference.
Don't smoke it.
Yeah.
And Al, do you want them to follow you anywhere?
I'm on Twitter at Alaleo_. And then everything else, don't follow me on.
Yeah. Me and AJ, follow us if we're ever gonna actually commit to fully streaming video games. I know I am at Dylan's Garden, TVT, whatever the fuck.
Twitch.tv/Dylan's
thanks,
Garden.
AJ. And Pastor Al, follow us there. And as always, follow us home.
All right, and yeah, we'll jump into the show in a hot second. I always love it when the intro goes through the whole song. Shit gets my jollies. Shit gets my jollies.
The ending works. Whew. Yikes. I know it wasn't word of the day, but I just was feeling like that shot had to happen. Black Velvet.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Disgusting as it is.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Disgusting as it may be, that shit'll wake you up. You will wake up with a shot of Black Velvet. That should be like add a little Black Velvet to your coffee, you know?
Right. So Dylan, everything's good on your end? I didn't fuck up the live stream again?
No, we're running good. GameStop versus Wallstreet.
Exactly. So you know why you're here. You clicked on it.
Yeah. And maybe you don't know why you're here. You accidentally clicked on it.
Yeah, that is an option.
That's like the opposite.
Please
That's
stay.
the other option.
Please don't go.
I have definitely gotten to the deep parts of fucking YouTube before.
Don't leave. I have abandonment issues.
Yeah, I swear to God. The viewer count was at 2 and now it's at 1. I better fucking poop my pants.
All right, but yeah, so we didn't really plug it earlier, but the live show on YouTube every Monday around 6:30.
Yeah, dude, we have a bunch of great fucking people coming in, talking to us live. A fucking great time. One of the best times when we have people coming in on the live show. We will talk to you. We're not going to ignore you. Unless you're a racist, white supremacist, then we probably will ignore you. But
Yeah. You're probably gonna get the fuck out of here speech again.
yeah,
You know who you are.
or like we don't like bad people.
Yeah, if my mom probably ever comes on too, I'm probably not gonna ever.
We're gonna shun.
Yeah, we're gonna shun her too.
All right, it's going to be a
can't.
short episode. We're cutting it early. Michael's mom is here.
Hide the fucking beer. Get the beer off the table, damn
Get the crucifix on there. Okay,
No,
yeah.
Mom,
All right,
we're
so what'd you
not-
learn at church this past Wednesday?
No, Mom, we're not drinking in AJ's basement again, okay? God, his parents are home.
Why is there so many pictures of Satan hanging on the wall?
Yeah, this is what I do.
It's the vibe.
So yeah, GameStop versus Wall Street
Yeah.
fucking blew my mind last week.
I didn't know. It blew my mind because I didn't fucking really follow it until I was talking to you, Al.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank God we have Al in our lives because I'm sitting there just fucking. I hear him mouth over the table when we're sitting at the bar. I lost. I don't know if you want me to say it.
Don't
I'm not
say
gonna
the
it.
number.
I'm not going to say the number.
Don't say the number.
Mouth the word and, had to go over and figure it out. Like, what the hell is going on? I was so confused. Absolutely just like, I've been seeing shit about this pop up everywhere. Just GameStop, 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 GameStop. Like, what the fuck is up with GameStop? I was like, what is going on? Like, are they a thing now? Like, what? I don't know what's
What
happening.
do we need to know about this dying company?
But yeah, so what do we where do we start? Al, you want to start us off? Where the whole thing started from?
All right, here we go. So about a year ago, for anybody who chooses to follow, I'm sure you're not only hearing GameStop in the nude, you're news.
In the
nude.
Tasteful news.
In the news, you're also hearing about a subreddit called Wallstreet Bets, which I've been a member of for a little over a year now. About a year ago, a user by the name of Deep Fucking Value decided that he was going to look into a couple stocks to YOLO his life savings into. So he gambled, I think the number was around $40,000, and happened to run across GameStop, who through his due diligence research, which you should always do if you're going to buy a stock or any options on the market, you need to research yourself. You can take advice online, but you always need to do the research yourself so you can make an informed opinion and not blame anybody else for your stupid losses because you bought fucking puts on GameStop. So this guy discovered that they had a gigantic, GameStop had a gigantic short against it by a company called Melvin Capital. And what they did is they shorted 130% of GameStop's shares. So they actually they shorted more GameStop's stock shares than actually exists out in the world.
So, for all the people that don't know, what's a short?
So I'll explain this to you. I actually had this set up.
I have a good one for this one for people that are not inclined to the financial talk. Basically, they're betting against GameStop. Their market value rising it's like when you go and you bet against, instead of betting for a team, you bet against the team.
It's literally the opposite of like.
It's gambling almost.
Yeah, it's
Right.
well, it's you buy a stock and you have interest and you think the interest is going to compound and you're going to fucking get a return. Shorting is the opposite. So you're betting the stock to fail. So here's the easiest way I can explain it to you, and this is thank God for this Reddit user Clueless, but I'm going to paraphrase what he said. So you have a banana.
This is how I learned how this is how I learned how shorts work.
Yeah, this is what I explained to
many
Dylan at the restaurant.
Many
the other night.
researches.
Okay, so Dylan has a banana, all right, and the banana's worth $10, and I think that's bullshit. I think the banana is going to drop to a value of $5. So I'm going to ask, hey, can I borrow your banana?
Sure.
I'm going to borrow Dylan's banana, and I'm going to sell the banana that I don't own on the market for $10. I get $10. That banana's value drops to $5. So I buy the banana back. So now I have $15. Okay, and then I have the $5 from whatever. I sold the banana that I didn't own. Now I owe you a banana. Okay, so I sold the banana. Banana's value drops to $5. Now I buy the banana back for $5, and I have the $5 from the $10 I originally had, and I give the banana back to you. Okay, so that's what shorting is. So I just shorted the banana. You're basically selling a stock that you don't own in hopes that the value would drop, so you can buy it back buy back the stock at a smaller price and then you keep the premium. That's what a
Yes.
short is.
That example was very, very nice for me because all over the place, people are just talking about it fast. And the only way I really understood was when multiple people were talking about the apes and the sneaky snake trying to sneak up and
Dylan
sneak
only
some
understands
bananas.
bananas and animals. That's the moral of the story.
So now that Melvin Capital they're shorting 130% of GameStop's shares.
Sorry.
It's all right. I keep fucking up.
No, I don't think I could do any better.
So now what you have is called a short squeeze, and that's what's happening, or also known as a gamma squeeze for those who understand the Greeks. If you've been in the market for a while. So when that happens, Melvin's banana is not worth $5 right now. It's worth like fucking $70. Okay, so now Melvin Capital owes the market a banana plus $70 plus interest that compounds on that $70. And what happens is when you short, you have to cover your position eventually. And the
stock that you borrowed.
Yeah, you
can't not give it back.
You can't not give it back.
What's the time? Like, do they make like a written agreement that says you can have this stock for this amount of time, or do they get to just the interest keeps going up?
Yeah.
But if they decide to not sell it, the interest is just gonna
you'll eventually, if you don't sell and it just keeps dropping and you never hit your mark, that interest will eventually kill you and bankrupt you. Okay, so now that Melvin has shorted GameStop and GameStop has completely skyrocketed over the past month, they eventually will have to cover their position, which means they're going to have to buy GameStop shares at that X amount of price or whatever the fuck it's at. It's not going to be $10, or I think they shorted it at $20. It's not going to be $20, absolutely not. So they have to buy all that stock back at the said price, which drives the price up, and you have retail also buying the stock, so that it's called a short squeeze, and eventually GameStop is going to hit numbers that nobody even thought was fathomable. And
not even in 2008, dog.
No,
it's fucking crazy.
And everybody is talking about it now, like the squeeze has already happened.
Yeah,
the short squeeze hasn't started.
That's what
yet.
I heard. So
nothing has happened. Melvin Capital has not started to cover their shorts. That's what everybody doesn't know yet. Is wow, it was a short squeeze and now it's over and GameStop's going back. The squeeze has not even begun yet. So when that happens, shit's gonna hit the fan.
Is that a scary thing that people aren't understanding that the squeeze hasn't happened? Because like the biggest thing I've seen on Reddit now is people talking about hold the line and hold your fucking things or whatever. Diamond hands. I heard that.
Yep, diamond hands.
Don't
baby.
don't fucking sell it back because like it hasn't happened yet. And that's the thing I'm like scared of. I'm like, hopefully people aren't seeing this money. You know, because that's their way out right now. Is that people realize that they could make a quick buck off of it.
Yep. As soon as retail dumps, that's when it all, like if all the retail people right now just decided to dump GME, that's it. Then there's no short squeeze because Melvin will be able to cover their positions at the set price that they wanted to.
But it's not. So what would we say? What do you think is the majority of people who like? I'm trying to think of the majority of Redditors who are now in this company or in these companies. Like, I wonder what the percentage. Does anyone know like the percentage of how many of these like? It's probably hard to figure out.
I couldn't give you a percentage, but I can tell you that over the past. Okay, so a month ago, before this all even started, Wallstreet Bets members was like 2.4 million. As of right now, it is sitting at 8.1 million.
Fucking Christ.
So that's the amount of people that, the news hype and all this stuff, and probably all Reddit. I mean, Wall Street Bets was on the popular front page for, a good amount over the 3 weeks. And now they have over 8.1 million members. That's absolutely insane. I mean, like, that's GameStop numbers, kind of.
You see me, like, I only use Reddit to find, like, good porn.
Yeah, same. That's,
that's...
For sure.
Yeah, so it just blows. I love seeing people use that in a way to really just fuck the system over. That gets my dick harder than the porn I watch on Reddit, dude.
So a question I think that I have that I don't understand a whole lot of is now that GameStop's shares are worth so much and the people that are going to have to pay back the money to the people who invested in it, how much of that does GameStop see? Like, what what do they get? What does GameStop get out of this besides them just being? Because I mean, people, I didn't quite understand this, but it talked about how like GameStop's, their stock, it's not really worth that much. If like it's
overvalued.
Yeah, and so it's. I mean, does GameStop get a little bit of the money? Like where do they come in on this? Yeah, they get all these people buying their stocks and for all these prices. Do they get a cut of that? Like how does that work?
Yeah, of course, because it's a publicly traded company. So now they have like liquidity out the ass right now because their stock is fucking absolutely insane. Right now it's sitting at 191 even is what it looks like.
But when this all like
Bethany's
evens out,
kids getting braces, dude.
Yeah, Bethany's kids are getting fucking gold chain braces, dude. Chains hanging off the braces, man. It's a thing, Michael. Not yet, but like I could make it easily a thing. But like it's so even if somehow this sorted in any way, is it possible that GameStop could still not benefit from this? Is there a way that how would that happen? Like what would happen that GameStop would completely just kind of go back to being its normal dying company, which they would still short, right? Because that's what they want is companies that are going to die, right? Isn't that why you short? Because you're expecting these companies to die. Mm-hmm. So,
but it literally is going to come down to how. So this short squeeze that hasn't happened yet. It's literally going to come down to how much time we have, like retail investors, and then how much billions of dollars they want to lose.
So if people hold their diamond hands out, because Melvin's still not paying the interest on.
They have not covered
the short. Nope. Yeah. So the stock price of GameStop's just going to skyrocket when they do that. It's going to go up even more.
How long do they have to cover their shorts?
Yeah.
They, however much liquidity they have in the company. So last week they already got bailed out twice for a total amount. I think it was around $5.5 billion by Citadel Securities. Or Citadel.
I was gonna ask too, like, is it gonna be a surprise if like our government decides to step in and bail them out? Because,
we've been on the verge of a financial collapse for a couple of years now.
I say we just give them like $600.
I saw that too. That was awesome. Just give them $600; they'll be fine.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be great.
That'd be good,
dude. Yeah, I'll get into that a little bit later too, because there's some funny, dude. Just this whole last week has just been one of the happiest weeks of my goddamn life.
Same.
Just watching this all unfold. New job, I'm happy, like all this shit, and then. Just watching
a hedge fund literally
watching
crumble.
Billionaires just fucking cry on CNN.
Oh man, I saw that video footage of the guy who was just couldn't even speak, and it's like, is this this guy?
I really care. I guess we can just get into it now since we're already talking about it. So the CEO of Nasdaq and other hedge fund managers have been like,
what is up with
on
our
the
words
news
today? Can we get our fucking words right? God damn it!
The teeth, the lips, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips.
But they've been like bitching and moaning on the news all last week, like just playing the world's smallest violin. And there was one hedge fund manager that was on, I think it was, what was it? Some NBC affiliate. CNBC, yeah. And he was literally sitting there crying. He's like, we gave you guys a stimulus package, and you used it to ruin the economy. And then he just
the economy is not ruined. The economy's doing fine.
And then he just starts like weeping.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can tell that you care a lot about the status quo.
Yeah, that's another question I think I had looking into this. Like, so it definitely, like, the way it's happening, it should put money back into people's pockets, like it should. But the way that you fuck people up, like, let's say, like my thought is, now that we have 8 million people inside of Wallstreet Bets, and you're going to have people that, are going to be listening to advice, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be more, is it going to be possible now that we have so many people versus the hedge funds and the Wall Street that they're going to start losing their money? is that going to fuck up the economy somehow? That people are going to be coming in to fuck with that shit?
I don't really think so. I mean, like, if you're talking like if you're thinking about that, you got to think about like of how much money people are already making on GameStop and how many people like probably cashed out, but the mass majority is sitting there, hold the line. Once that short squeeze happens, GameStop shares can go well over $1,000. Everybody cashes out, the squeeze is over, GameStop returns to what it is, and then, you know, that's the biggest stimulus package that the fucking lower and middle classes have ever received. Like, fuck your $600. Like, people made, you know, there's people that dumped, you know, 20 grand into this GameStop bet with call options and buying shares alone. That, I mean, they turned
What are
20
call options?
call options.
Like options, because I've heard of that shit before too. Like, or of them talking about option stock or some shit. Like, what does that mean?
So options are a contract. So what you're doing is you're buying a contract that gives you the right, but not the obligation to buy 100 shares worth of the derivative stock at a set price. So, like a position I'm holding right now, currently, is Nokia, and my call option on Nokia is I'm betting that Nokia will be the shares will be worth $5 by a set date of 1/21/22.
Okay.
So
you're betting that they're going. Are you betting they're going down then?
No, I'm.
So you're betting
a call option is you're betting the stock is going to go up. A put option is you're betting the stock is going to go down. So you're buying the contract, which gives you the right, but not the obligation to buy 100 shares of that stock. So if Nokia, all this means is if Nokia hits $5, or my strike price is, let's see, my strike price. Well, it's a $5 call. My strike price is $6.45. If Nokia hits $6.45 by January 21st of next year, I have the power to buy 100 shares of Nokia for $5 a share, no matter what price their stock is.
Oh, okay.
So that's a call option. A put option is the exact opposite. You're just betting it's going to fall to whatever, so you can buy it at that price.
Okay, and then, so if they do go down, then you'll lose money at that set date. Is that the date you have to? Your strike date. Yeah, that's the expiration date. So you can execute your call that day if it's in the money. Right on.
Can you do it before then, or does it have to be on that day?
I think it has to be.
Or like if you took like a,
or you can
a
exercise
cut or
the option.
something. Or...
I think you can do it beforehand.
You can just take it
I
out.
haven't ever tried. I don't ever exercise my options unless they're like deep in the money. Like there's people that were holding, you know, $15 call options for GameStop that, like, if you fucking don't cash that out, you're honestly stupid. But like that would give you 100 shares of GameStop like that you just bought for $15 a share, so it's $1,500, and then that's all those shares that are worth whatever now are fucking. You're sitting there. You just got like $20,000 or whatever. My math is wrong. I'm just paraphrasing.
Can we pull up the chart with the gorillas and the bananas and the?
Yeah. So all options.
Can we get that on the screen, please?
All options is just a contract to buy a stock at a certain price, or buy a stock.
Say you'll buy it no matter what.
What's that?
It's saying you'll buy the stock in a year no matter what?
It gives you the right. You're not obligated to. It just gives you the right. Oh. So you don't actually have to exercise your options if you don't want to. You can actually just sell the contract. And contracts themselves are like stocks. They do move value-wise. Like
but you still will lose money if it does. You'll still lose money if
So if Nokia drops down to $1 a share and it doesn't hit, you know, $6.45 or whatever my strike price is by that said date, then I'm out fucking whatever. Like your call options can drop down to $0 or like $1 or just not exist, and then you just lost whatever you did.
Right.
You know, but so there's some, you know, options fluctuate differently. It's like if you can spend $20 on a long out of the money call option, and then if it hits and it fucking skyrockets, I mean that $20 can turn into fucking thousands if you hit it right, which is what happened with GameStop. I mean, a bunch of people bought out of the money calls for $10 a contract, and then now they're worth, like, I think GameStop's call options are fucking, like, they're in the thousands right now. Like if you had a call option that expired.
So you're saying
February
a $10 turns into 1,000
if it hits. I mean,
if you're saying if the short squeeze hits, is that
I mean, well, that's just if the option itself, or that's if the stock itself reaches that price. So like a month ago, if you would have bought a call option for fucking back then it's shit for a February 12th strike date, if you would have bought an option that said, I bet GameStop's going to be worth $20 by February 12th, I mean, right now, that option back then might have cost you $50. One of those option contracts now is worth $20,660.
Damn.
So you could have literally bet $20-$40 or whatever the fuck that it cost back then.
Right.
And now that current option contract is sitting at $20,660.
Damn. So, like, do we have to pay you for this advice, or is
No,
this, like,
this isn't
pro
advice.
bono?
This is-
Like, do we just get this advice for free?
I'm not giving anybody financial advice. I'm just letting you know what I know.
I still like to look at the bananas and the gorillas chart.
Do you use, so what do you, so you, I don't know if this is, what do you use for your trading and
broker?
stuff? Do you use a broker?
Or like
an app.
a
Do you use an app?
brokerage, whatever the fuck. I up until recently I used Robinhood.
And as we'll probably talk about,
Was it within? Oh, I guess it was in. 15
it was
minutes.
close.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it! He says I'm gonna hit this shit. Damn it! I was so close. I was this fucking close.
You were about to say it too. I saw your mouth about to. What do you use?
I thought so, but I was like, yeah, wow.
I need to make a new word of the day track because Trump's not the presidente anymore.
Ooh,
It's gonna be. It's gonna.
It's
have to be
gonna.
a Joe Biden.
Let's
It's gonna
do
be
push-ups, man.
Snoring.
Biden.
Joe Biden.
Yeah. So for those of
President Joe Biden.
you new to the show, for those of you
I
that
hate you.
are fans of the show, for those of you that tune in every once in a while, we just hit the word of the day. Word of the day is inspired by Pee Wee's Playhouse. And yeah, we're taking a shot of delicious black velvet.
Inspired, not taken or stolen. We cannot be sued. Right?
whiskey. Right.
Oh, thank God.
Hopefully someday Black Velvet will sponsor us.
Oh fuck!
That's why I threw a bunch of shit in there. It's creative.
Oh god, I better get a beer ready. This is gonna fucking make me just Ralph all over the podcast table.
Don't do that. It's gonna leak onto our laps and shit.
Cheers.
Leakage.
Woo! I think that's the only liquor I need a chaser for. I could drink probably anything else. I don't care if it's fucking Jack straight. Like, I fucking...
What about Everclear?
Okay, also, that's not even going to touch my mouth. That's not going anywhere near my mouth.
That's a carny liquor. Like that's something only carnies
That's how you
drink.
lose
Dude.
teeth?
Dude, that's like I don't care if it's a man or a woman. I'm making out with someone right now.
No, it's not
AJ,
like...
that's a bicycle.
It's not loose teeth. It's because their teeth are so like gone and they have all these infections in their mouth that like cleans
it
the
out.
mouth.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
why carnies
it's
drink.
carny mouthwash.
That's why Michael Milano has such nice teeth because he's been drinking Everclear as a carny for so long that he has the cleanest mouth around.
I can see it.
They should be putting Everclear inside of our toothpaste. Let's just be honest.
Might be a good idea.
Right? Duh.
Like our kids' toothpaste.
Damn, I had a really... God, I wish I was going to ask a question about this shit. The shit is so mind-blowing to me. I've only found out about all of this GameStop shit and short squeezes and shit, like, just now. And, like, I've been just watching videos and shit, and it's just so fucking... It's so much information. So many pictures of Wall Street people crying and looking fucking pissed off that I can't help just be so fucking happy. I don't know.
For the average person, it's really, really hard to understand unless you've been following the market for at least a year to 2 years.
So, what can you be non-US and be getting these like apps? Can like other people that are in like other countries be doing the same
like
thing?
Canada.
That's what I was
Well,
gonna.
any
I asked
place,
you about this.
So like maybe that would crash. Maybe not crash it, but like maybe there'd be a lot less money in the United States because of other countries getting involved in this.
Yeah, so there is. So it wouldn't go through. Okay.
I
Yes,
see what
yes,
you
and
mean.
yes and no.
Like if other countries took advantage of it,
Yeah,
before we took advantage of
So
it.
here's
'Cause
like
they would have a lot more money to dump into it than.
right. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
I was gonna say Americans.
So-
Doesn't matter if you have money or not. They'll take a second mortgage on their house if fucking someone
People
tells them
fucking
doing.
did that too.
Mom.
Like this shit, like people YOLO'd their life savings. Like that's what user on Reddit, Daddy Deep fucking Value, the guy who started this whole fucking entire
Damn.
move. Yeah, praise be to
I
God.
saw a guy
praise be
make-
unto him, but he gambled 40,000 and he made like 10 million.
I saw a guy that was made a video and he was talking about it with him and his buddy. He's like, "Yo, we're here. We're gonna fuck those companies up. I'm putting a fucking $1.5 million into this shit. And he's, what are you putting in? And he said like almost $1 million or something. And we're gonna fucking sit on it. We're gonna fuck these companies into the fucking ground.
Yep.
And I was
And,
like,
yeah, dude.
If
Like,
these guys already have millions of dollars.
that's what I was, you're not gonna say that you're gonna
Yeah.
dump $1.5 million and not already have like.
I got $100,000. I just sold my house. That'd
Bro,
be like a better
dude,
thing.
there's-
Don't
well,
put $1.5 million. That's like everything you own. I don't care, motherfucker. I'm gonna fuck up the industry.
there's a bunch of like famous YouTubers that are like had done sponsorships with Robinhood over the last like 2 years, and they're just like completely like, yo, fuck Robinhood. They're like,
Are they
I'm
out of a
gonna- well-
contract with them then? They were just doing like a simple
yeah, it was
advertisement
just yeah,
or
it was like an
something?
advertisement. Like, this video is brought to you by Robinhood, blah blah blah.
Right.
And they're like, fuck Robinhood. I'm gonna take the money that I made off that video and invest it into GameStop and what is it, AMC?
Yeah. So the trending thing right now is called on WSB. I love it. It's called Bang Gang, BANG. So you have your BlackBerry, AMC, Nokia, and GME. So
Nice.
bang gang for days, baby. We're holding and we're not letting go.
But yeah, like
Dude, I
a
like
bunch,
Nokia
like a
because
bunch
their
of
phones
people,
never
like
break.
Ethan Klein. He just on his last episode was talking about. He's like, I'm putting in $14,000 into GameStop is what he made off his contract with Robinhood, and he's like, fuck these guys. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna make it so that people can't buy the stock they want.
I remember my question from earlier, and I would fucking love to say it before I forget it again.
Go for it.
So, okay, I don't even know how to fucking begin to try and word this. My thoughts are just so wild on this. So people are now realizing that by doing stocks, they can easily just do what they want to manipulate it in a way that, like, I mean, not easily. I mean, they're getting sued over this shit. But if this were to go through and, like, let's say they beat the lawsuits, which my first question I want to ask, I guess, what's the chances that they actually beat the lawsuits? Are they pretty
Robinhood?
screwed?
Not entirely. For the reasoning of why they stopped trading on those stocks for a day, or halted buying for those stocks for a day, and then later restricted buying for those stocks, they most likely will win in favor of that lawsuit because of the repercussions that would have happened if they didn't do what they did.
You know what they should have just done is be like, oh, we're going down for maintenance. You know,
Dude,
like,
the Clintons did that all the time.
we-
They said our cameras are down for maintenance.
You know, like-
Every single camera, even the ones in the ATMs, were down for maintenance.
You know,
When Jeffrey Epstein fucking killed himself, the cameras were down for maintenance. Dude,
that would have been a great.
That would have been
response.
so. Where
It's maintenance, dog.
Dude,
you gotta have.
I think-
you gotta have scheduled maintenance.
I
Hey,
think-
if
I think-
Robinhood is hearing this, I would be a good PR man.
No, they already have cousin Lenny up in that bitch, who's just like, bro,
Well,
don't
dude,
don't
the
do
C-
that.
the
Trust
CEO
me.
went
Just
on
make up an
CNBC.
excuse that says, what was their excuse, by the way? What did you say it was?
So the CEO of Robinhood went on CSNBC,
CNBC.
CNBC,
A sister company
and-
to CSNBS, and CSBC.
yeah,
QLT.
that one.
Sorry, you guys, when you say that, just fucking, my mind just goes fucking, I cannot
So
keep
he
track.
he went on there and he was like, "Well, we were protecting the investors from themselves." Da 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 da.
That's
I'm like,
horseshit. He also went on. He went on CNN with Chris Cuomo, and Chris Cuomo fucking destroyed him. Shout out to
Dude,
Chris
that's-
Cuomo. I
dude-
love him.
It's literally like this is like the most unifying political thing that's happened in the last 8 years.
I was thinking about that. I was
Like,
literally...
dude, we got fucking AOC, we got CNN, Fox News. Like, when you see Sean Hannity agreeing with Don Lemon over something,
Or Ted
you-
Cruz agreeing with AOC.
yeah,
It's
it's
like-
fucking. It
It's
makes
because people realize that
makes
it's
your
not-
mind
it's-
melt.
It's
I
not
was-
a race thing anymore.
I had
It's
this
a class
mindset.
thing.
I was like in my mind, like I was in my old mind palace, just thinking like, oh, what would be like a cool video to portray this? It's like we've had different sides of the political spectrum causing riots in the street and everything like that, and having the other side hate you more for doing that. But like, what a fucking unifying moment to cause the biggest fucking
Power to the people, dude.
the biggest, this is a fucking protest and a fucking thing that everyone could get behind. Like, it's such a, like you
Dude,
said,
people will
the biggest unifying thing that we should Like, we talked about BLM amendment. We talked about, like, any other time that people were in the streets rioting, we said we don't care what the cause is. We just need a cause for people to realize that we're in power as people.
Yep.
And what a better fucking time. And hopefully people actually, like I fucking hope Robin Hood fucking, if they win the lawsuit and shit, I fucking hope. Because I fucking want people outside of their fucking houses. Like, what better way? Like, you piss people off with the president, whatever. You piss someone off by trying to fuck them over with fucking thousands of their life savings. Mm-hmm. You're gonna fucking, people are gonna have nothing else to live for.
And they are they are absolutely responsible for that. So the whole thing behind them stopping trading, it was market manipulation in a sense, but at the same time, what would have happened if they didn't do what they did would have absolutely been much worse. So what happened is when you...
Worse for... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. No, worse for them or worse for the people?
For everybody. Worse for them, worse for the people, worse for the NYSE. Sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah. So basically... what happened is when you buy a stock or call option or anything through Robinhood, it's not Robinhood just like executing the trade. It has to go through a clearinghouse and then in turn connects with the New York Stock Exchange, and then the stock is transferred from NYSE to the clearinghouse to Robinhood to you in your portfolio. The reason why they had to stop trading was because the amount of liquidity that Robinhood had to cover what the amount of stock that was being bought ran out in a sense, and there's simply
Robinhood itself. Robinhood had amount of money.
The clearinghouse that Robinhood uses, whether it's I'm not sure who it is. I couldn't tell you for sure.
But you're saying they have a certain amount of money to move the money through them, whether they go up or down. They're just
exactly.
But there was so much coming through that you're saying and it was like
it all comes down to the option chain too, because the amount of people who had options expiring at this date, and this date, which happened over the past week. They realize that with the amount of money that they have and the amount of shares on the market, what would have happened if they didn't do that is they would have overextended their ability to buy GameStop shares through whatever the fuck and give it to you, which is called a failure to deliver. So the reason they did that is because like I said, when I explained options before, which is a huge part of what this happened, you're buying the right but not the obligation to purchase 100 shares of the derivative at a set price. So you had a bunch of people with options contract expiring well within the money that were going to let those option contracts exercise, which they would have bought $100 worth of shares or 100 shares worth of whatever the fuck at that point. So Robinhood has to give them those 100 shares, and if they don't, that's called failure to deliver. And if that happens, the fucking walls get blown off.
So they had to make sure they took care of the people
Robinhood
that had shares previously before they can take it.
They had to cover the people who had shares, and they had to cover the people who were going to exercise the option to then have shares. Because if I buy an option contract for GameStop, you owe me those 100 shares if I exercise.
That's what I'm saying.
You're go ahead.
Down for maintenance.
Yeah, so that's the best excuse ever.
So it was, and I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you how much you follow the market, but like the day that happened,
lot.
is when I was fucking shitting my britches at the bar the other night, I was pissed, and you heard me. It's like I lost X amount on the market because it wasn't just Robinhood that did this either. I mean, I think
correct.
It was Webull. I mean, Cash App you couldn't buy. Like it was all these other.
OnlyFans and lectures.
Yeah, you couldn't buy shit on OnlyFans either.
Worst day of my life.
All this, yeah. So all this happened. I think it was Thursday that they did this. But I mean, it dropped. I mean, Thursday itself, it dropped a fuckload. Just due to that reason, and every stock, I mean, every Bang Gang stock dropped, like Nokia, because what they did is they restrict that you could only close your position. You could not buy.
Oh, so people were just.
So you had all these people that were gonna buy the next day, and I know people that had orders for.
Before I lose this thought, I'm so sorry. So if they weren't, this is another question I had. If they weren't allowed to people weren't allowed to buy, but people were allowed to sell. Is the sell only for the hedge funds that need to? Is that what happened?
No.
No,
that wasn't the reasoning behind it. The reason you couldn't buy is because Robinhood wasn't sure if they were gonna when you buy, they weren't sure if they were gonna be able to give you that share that you bought.
Oh, but you could sell putting the money back in through Robinhood.
Because then they're not obligated to give you anything.
Who buys it if you? But you can only buy if someone else sells. Like, how does?
There's an X amount of shares of GameStop. Yeah, so you sell it back.
Oh, okay.
They need to get their inventory back.
Okay.
It goes back to literally economics 101, supply and demand. That's how a stock gets its value, of how many people want that stock and what the demand is, who's selling, who's buying at what price. There's an ask price and there's a bid price. That's how you value a stock or an options contract.
Right on.
Anybody wants to invest in a stock, PM me. I'll give you my social security number.
Hey, also, I have a couple things. One was the question earlier that I almost forgot, which I had forgotten again, and I'm going to ask that. After I acknowledged the first person coming into our YouTube live channel is SmashHead95.
Oh, what up, baby? Dude, he's slinging right now. He's running line.
He says, "Your mom's so gay." And then he also says, "Ow, we got slapped right when you left."
Oh, hell yeah. That's tight. Yeah, I was going to say the only reason I'm on this podcast is because I left the restaurant because we were slow as fuck. And
Dude,
I told him to text me if I got slapped.
we needed an expert here. This was a
180 of what this could have been.
Yeah. It could have been.
You know what's going on? I don't know what's going on.
Definitely a train
Let's
wreck.
talk about boobs, I guess.
If you weren't here at this point, we would have been talking about Catherine Zeta-Jones by now.
Fair enough.
Which we might get to that.
Okay,
Yes.
So the thing I've forgotten to say multiple times, what I was talking about earlier with people getting mad at like things like Robinhood and like this is theoretical.
Yeah.
I want to say this
Who really knows, dude? Who really
theoretically.
knows?
Yeah.
This probably wouldn't happen ever, but like what happens if people, and this sounds so stupid probably, but like, what happens if people decided that they weren't going to? They said, "Fuck stocks." If we can get fucked like that and get denied our trade rights through these brokers and companies, what happens if everyone? And this, like I said, theoretical. What happens if everyone, like the American people,
Just fucking
stop,
sold.
just stop,
sold.
and just say we're done with stocks and investing in companies? What would that do?
So many companies would lose liquidity and like shit. Like they would lose. Companies would lose millions and billions and fucking quite honestly trillions of all that shit. Like if
Everybody
everybody
here first, sell your Walmart stocks.
sell
fuck
your,
them fucks.
sell your Facebook, sell your. I'm just kidding.
Is that
I
like
said, this is not financial.
Is that a good or bad idea that
He
if we,
said that,
as
not
an
me.
American people, let's say we had someone at the top of the American people side versus the bigger side of the country. I don't know what to call them. Corporate.
You literally
Is that
okay?
a right way to say it?
Yeah, sure. So like, I'm gonna answer you before
Could I call them snakes?
Sure. I don't give a
Yes.
fuck. I don't
And
give a
are they
fuck what you
trying
call
to steal my bananas? I'm just kidding.
them. Melvin Capital is.
But yeah, sorry.
So
yeah.
no, I mean like it would happen. It would be cool. It'd be tight as fuck. Like a bunch of companies would lose billions, but eventually, like you're gonna have that one asshole that's just like, man. So here's what would happen: is everybody would sell the stocks. You'd have so much liquidity in the market, it'd be ridiculous. Then the only way companies would make money was off their product, not just the stocks, but just off their product. So Tesla, I mean, Elon Musk wouldn't have the billions of dollars that he has from the Tesla stock rising all year, and then he would just make his money off of selling cars. Well, you're going to have that one asshole, and it will probably be me if all you idiots sell, that would buy into Tesla shares again at $0, and then their earnings report would come out. And as a shareholder for their P&E ratio, which is price per earnings, per share, I would just fucking make a killing.
So you're saying that
he's talking about without stocks though, like if there is no stocks.
No, there will always be stocks.
That's what I'm saying.
But,
is like,
you're saying if
well,
like,
I guess, well, not in my. That's.
If
I think
you-
what
you
you're
can't-
saying is what I'm thinking of is if the majority of people decided to say no, fuck this, would there still be, like you said, the Chads that will make fucking bank off of
Literally.
everyone deciding not to do it?
literally go back a year ago. Into March, when COVID hit and the country got shut down, you saw a fucking recession or a market correction like nobody's seen in years. Like since the Great Depression, the market dropped like a fuckload. You know what everybody did, and you know what I did? I bought the dip, and that's what I would do. That's what would happen. You're always going to have that. Yeah, I mean, the idea of like everybody dumping stocks like down the drain is like it'd be fucking cool. It'd be way cool to see. But eventually, that one asshole that wants to make money,
and
like
the rich
me,
people are going to buy everything. That's what I'm saying. If
dude.
people decided to say "fuck you guys," it would still be the rich companies that would come in and swing in. And
hedge funds.
It wouldn't
would
even
fucking,
matter.
I mean, like stocks would drop. They would lose money too. But like the minute it's like
like what we saw with like the what was it like $2.8 trillion that they put into the stock market
back in 2008.
No, like this year.
Oh.
Or not this year, sorry, 2020.
Yeah.
They recycled they printed off $2.8 trillion to while we were getting a measly $1,200 check. They were
You know what I saw that really
resurging the
pissed me
fucking
off
stock
while
is-
looking up all this shit, while looking into it? And this shit has been bugging me for so goddamn long that when I fucking saw, like, I was sorting through the videos, and one of the videos was, is fucking Jeff Bezos going to be the first trillionaire or whatever? And I'm like, how the fuck? Like this country is going to get offered $600 a person. You're going to have someone in this country that owns $1 trillion.
Yeah, that's almost why I've been toying in my brain if I'm on the side of not a minimum wage, but a maximum wage. So like eliminate the federal minimum wage, but you'll have a maximum wage in place. So you can have only make over this amount of money, or like as far as like CEOs go, like say a hypothetical law is like you can only make 100 times more than what your lowest paid employee is making. So that in turn, if the CEO wants to make more money, they have to give raises down the line.
We were talking about that one day, whether the minimum wage is fucking, and we were trying to debate that it was good, but
right now,
currently, you were saying like it was like it would be like it could be good, it could be bad, but like that makes
you're talking about raising the minimum wage if it was good or bad, or are you talking about the wage rate?
No, I think that I don't think there should be a minimum wage.
If like what the discussion was is you should be getting paid for a job that's worth what you're doing, but like you said, if a CEO is making that your lowest employee, it should be worth your company, and that would probably be the better way to fix that. Like fuck,
that would close. Yeah, so it would be fucking awesome because it would close wealth
in the perfect world. Is the words we have to say.
But,
in a perfect world.
I mean, Ted Cruz is going to call you a socialist though for like trying to control capitalism.
Yeah,
I love
he's
Ted
the
Cruz.
Zodiac
There is
killer,
that.
so-
I'll listen to anything Ted Cruz has.
There is that though. Like, so why say you do labor work, right?
Yeah.
And I'm your boss. I've provide everything.
Mm-hmm. Like clothes and like everything.
Everything. All you do
you're
is
gonna
come
need.
there.
Yeah.
And do shit.
Back brace if I need it, if my back hurts.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
But
It's PPE, dude.
Why should I be giving you, if you were, a maximum amount of X amount of what you make is what I can make? Why would I be giving you X amount of money if I'm making all the risk? This is my business. I'm doing all the risk to get jobs. You're just coming here, and I'm giving you money just to come here. You have a for sure amount of money that you're gonna make.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the risk.
Yeah.
Well, your company is also going to fail if you don't have any employees, though.
That would be my argument to it. But like
Okay.
also,
But not really though, because I could do
In
this
a
by
small
myself.
business.
If it's small businesses, sense.
Small businesses,
yeah.
but not
Okay.
big
So
businesses.
here's how I would like want to fix that is, it's not a minimum wage across the board. Like
like
technically,
you said,
like,
whatever
if you
your
wanted
company is
to-
making.
Well,
based
not
off
just
of
that,
that.
but it's like I think the minimum wage should be based off of market value of your profession as opposed to just flat across the board. So like
I agree with that.
some kid who's fucking like the guy standing at the front counter fucking touching a computer all day and just poking numbers and like giving people receipts at the McDonald's is making $7.25, but then the guy back there that's making the burgers, high stress situation, all that shit is also making $7.25. That's in my eyes that's bullshit because the guy back there is doing the fucking hard work,
Like you said,
and the
get
guy
paid
up
for
front
what
is
you're
making
worth.
the same amount of
Yeah,
money.
you paid
So-
what you're worth.
Exactly. So that's what I think. If there is a minimum wage,
There shouldn't be one because you should be paid what you're worth.
right? I agree.
Yeah, so there shouldn't be a minimum wage.
Yeah, it's
There-
it's just
there's-
it's a system
Because at what point can you not be stolen from one company to go to another company?
poached. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Then
Like,
there should not be a minimum wage because of that
there.
aspect.
Okay, so I would disagree because there's a minimum wage. There's that you gotta
So
pay.
if there is no minimum wage, if no company could be like, oh well, you're gonna make $7.25, this company could be like, oh well, you're worth actually to us $12.
That's what it is right now. Like that's how it works right now.
Exactly. So what happens when, say what happens when you're in labor work and you're doing hard labor for $14 an hour? Walmart comes around, it's like, hey, you just want to stock shelves for fucking $14 an hour?
I'm gonna go to Walmart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then these people that own these businesses would have to
Raise
raise their rate to do that.
Yeah.
There should be no minimum because then at some point.
But at
At
that
some point, you're going to be worth an X amount of money.
Right, but
unless you're not.
But at that point, even with the minimum wage, it's completely irrelevant because
That's where I think me and AJ. Sorry, dude, you're getting fucking cut off like a motherfucker.
care.
So me and AJ, like we were
It's
talking
our
about
show.
it last time, just the way that it's fucked up. I think the way that I see it and that AJ sees it, like what we were talking about, kind of, is that like. I think we all agree that like you should fucking totally get paid for the work that you're doing, but the way the economy is so fucked up, like I'm no scientist, but like
the thing
it's to protect people because there's so many employees in the country, right? Isn't that the thing, that there's too many employees that you don't need? Like,
There are so many jobs, though.
are there enough jobs? I don't know. I don't
I could
know
go
any
on
of this.
around
In-
here.
I could go
here.
on Indeed on any
Around here.
fucking place. If you tell me to go on anywhere on Indeed, and I bet you I could find you fucking
Go find a job in California right now.
where at? What city?
Anywhere in
All
California.
right, bet. Give me
I-
just fucking
he's
10
just
minutes.
literally gonna go to LA, and that's
Yeah.
Anywhere.
there's jobs there. I promise. There's jobs everywhere.
There's jobs everywhere.
So
Just
I
people
just-
don't want to do these jobs.
I do like that though. I like that idea that it's like like the idea of, yeah, you can let your CEO of a company and your higher ups make whatever money, but your lowest paid employee should not be.
Like Bezos
just-
shouldn't be making $1 trillion
Right,
a year, and
right.
his lowest employee
Yes.
making $725.
Yeah.
That like, I mean, like, I'm not a socialist by any means, but like, to fix, there's a massive wealth inequality, like, problem in this country, which in turn actually affects your like health of people, and then you have all the healthcare bullshit that's going on with universal healthcare, and people want it, people don't want it. Like, you can look up the life expectancy of like Southside Chicago compared to fucking like some super white rich town, and it's going to differ by most likely 10 to 20 years. So like the amount of income that people make does have an effect on your health and all that shit. So like I'm against socialism. Like, I'm a full blown like fucking do whatever the fuck you want to do as long as it doesn't hurt people. But as far as like commerce go and money and everything like that, it's like I think we should just kind of address the issue of like, that asshole's making fucking $1 trillion a year, but like I'm making $725 and I work for him. That kind of sucks.
What's the a question? I guess this might not. I think I've been thinking about shit like this mostly because it's like you have like I just got my eyes open to all these hedge fund people that probably have been doing this for. I looked back. Forever, dude.
And that's
it happened
why.
in. I was watching the fucking. I don't even remember what the first. It was the first company that did this shit was like closer to like 1900. This fucking guy, Bibbly Wop, whatever the fuck his company was, and it's like, it's just insane that these people have been fucking getting loaded off this shit. How do we get the money out of their bank accounts? Because they're probably storing it in off, different country banks and shit like that. What's the change that gets it so their money doesn't mean shit? Is that and this is gonna sound
I'm
dumb,
not sure
but is it like
yeah.
crypt? Like this?
I
is
don't
dumb.
understand your question, I guess.
So I'm saying, like, how do we get money away from people who have been storing it for so long? How do we make it
Devalue the dollar.
Is that the thing?
No.
Is
Well,
that,
I mean, like this.
Turn it back to the gold standard.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's really the only way, because
Yeah.
dollar bills don't mean anything nowadays.
And we print so much, that's why it's like people have all this in their bank. But what happens
There's
when
a
they
plan
could just
for that, but yeah.
what happens when they
That's why
use
people are
all
buying
of their
silver.
What happens when
He's been watching the market today.
Dude, Brandon, my old roommate, has been telling me to buy silver my whole life, and I said, you know what? That's actually, I've looked into it. That's a great idea.
It's up 7%
Haven't
today.
bought any. Haven't bought a single goddamn thing of silver.
I made money off silver this past summer. I made a lot of money.
My
kinda
401k is
relative.
wrapped up heavily in precious metals.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna be sitting pretty.
That's why I'm excited for my quarterly return next month.
Yeah, you're gonna. It's
I'm
gonna be good for
really
you.
excited.
But so like what I was saying, like could people though with all that money stocked up just buy up the currency?
So
Like, is that what could
basically
happen?
I mean, like, I don't know. If you're talking about taking money from hedge funds and giving it back to fucking whatever, like, literally that is the Bang Gang, like I talked about earlier in the episode. Like,
Right.
that is literally what they're doing. So, like, GameStop is the most shorted stock right now, and it's got a short float ratio of 138.4, which is fucked. So that means 138% of shares of GameStop are being shorted right now. Bed Bath & Beyond is number 3. AMC is number 5. Nokia's on there. I mean, all this shit, like, that's how you fuck the hedge funds. If you find out a hedge fund, that's what deep fucking value is. You find a hedge fund that's got a massive short position against a fucking stock. All you do is fucking rally up the troops and it's like, hell no, we're going to buy the shit out of this and we're going to fucking crush them and we're going to make a fuckload of money because when you short squeeze a stock, it happened in Volkswagen in 2008. It went from like $200 to fucking $800 and then fell back down. But it's just short squeeze, and that's how you'd beat the hedge funds. And their positions are available to the public. They have to be.
So, another thing I guess I'd have to ask is like, if you have all these people combating these hedge funds and stuff like that, is that going to somehow put the money back into the economy through all these
absolutely.
people? Like,
Yeah,
now that people are aware, now that hedge funds can't do this, are we going to start seeing are we going to start seeing change at all? Because people are so aware of what, like, people, like they said, no Reddit bets. Yeah, you need to research what you do before that.
Due diligence.
But you also have an army of fucking 8 million people who are watching everything you say, and if any hedge fund tries to fuck over a company...
To his question earlier, too, like, you're talking about, like, the solidarity, and it's like, fuck the hedge funds. Like, people that didn't even get into the stock market before that was like, fuck yeah, I'll get a brokerage and we'll fucking buy GME with you guys. Like, fuck the hedge funds. To your question earlier about can overseas people buy stocks? So yes, they can. It doesn't go through the New York Stock Exchange, but like one of the Bang Gang stocks, Nokia, are they're Finnish, I believe. They're from Finland. So like European markets, you can buy at the European markets like Frankfurt and shit. You can buy it. It's a globally known stock.
Right.
So like that price is set globally. I'm not sure about GameStop. I don't know what market. I think GameStop is available overseas too. So like a lot of stocks are available, just not alone in the New York Stock Exchange, but other markets around the world. So like you have people from like Germany, Canada, like everybody like that are able to buy GME.
Right.
It's like fuck this shit. It's like fuck those guys. Let's make some money, and that's what's happening. Despite GameStop losing their ass, even today. I mean, like, let's see, over the past week. Or even today alone. Whoops, I'm on Tesla. I should be on GME. GME today fucking did not have a good day. It lost 30%. Lost $100 a share, regular market, and then lost 35 after hours right now. So at the beginning of the day, it was fucking, around above 300. And now it's sitting at 189.
Is that because people are just like wanting the money over?
They got
time
paper
to hold?
hands,
Yeah,
dude.
they
Paper
They
hands.
got paper hands.
Why? What I want to know is, okay, I understand that these hedge fund managers have these bets against, these dying companies that are gonna die anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't understand. So why are they trying to?
Why are people buying
why are
stock?
people keeping it afloat? Like, fuck GameStop, dude.
Just
I ain't getting fucking.
because
you can buy this fucking stock back for me for fucking
They got
10
stick
cents.
it. They
they're
got
rich,
stick it
won't
to the
they?
Mandanitis.
But I mean,
Fuck
won't
GameStop.
they-
GameStop is a piece of shit company.
They are, and they fucked you forever by like, oh yeah, we'll buy your used games and
Yeah.
fucking $2.50. But like, yeah, but it's not. That's not the point. The point
I
is people A, fuck the hedge funds, and C, you're gonna make a fuckload off this, whether you hate the company or not. If you're involved in this short squeeze, if you have a position, which I fucking do, like I'm not. This isn't financial advice, but if you're involved, you have owned GameStop shares. When the squeeze happens, everybody knows it's overvalued. Everybody
Right.
knows it's a fucking dying company. That's not the point. The point is you're gonna be able to make money off this stupid fucking dying company. when the short squeeze happens.
So
That's the point.
So we just do this to every dying company.
That's how
I
you
mean,
fuck the hedge
if,
funds.
if the hedge funds try and
If the hedge fund-
funds try and use the
So,
dying company, then
How do you
people.
how do you find out if a hedge fund has a short on a company then?
Literally, you can bring it up. Like
And
you
Really?
can Google,
Wall Street
you
Bets.
Can,
There's now 8 million people following fucking Wall Street Bets, right? So I mean, if this ever happens again, people are going to be
oh,
on
dude!
it.
I mean, I wish I would have saved the post, but just the other day, like somebody made a list of the most shorted companies and like who is holding the biggest short positions against them. But
Yeah.
but GameStop happens to be 138.4% shorted by mostly Melvin Capital, which is just bleeding out their asshole right now.
So why are they giving them these? Why are they lending out these stocks? Because they wanted more. They needed the money to do different stuff or something, or like.
What do you mean?
Like why did they lend these stocks out?
Because they
GameStop?
they
Or what are you
borrowed
talking about?
they borrowed the stock and
Oh,
sold
they-
it.
okay.
They borrowed it
Bananas.
to sell it. The bananas they borrowed it to
See,
give it away and wait for it to go lower, so they buy
Buy
it
it back
and
and then-
See, I'm an apples kind of guy.
yeah, me too.
okay,
Yeah,
so
You guys don't like bananas?
Oh, I got a sorry. Before I fucking forget, I probably already
just
forgot.
cut me off again. We're up to
Sorry.
26 now. I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I probably wouldn't even be able to remember what the fuck I was gonna say. It's hard when I get these thoughts. It's like I should have written all this shit down. If
Roten.
written this shit down.
Retitten.
Rickitten.
So yeah, let's just fuck.
Fun
I
fact
can't
for
even
you.
remember.
While he tries to remember this
I'm
shit,
not
fun
gonna
fact
remember
for
it.
you.
It'll pop up.
One of the most shorted companies in the world, actually, have it up right now, and we were just talking about this earlier before we went on air, was Tootsie Roll Industries Incorporated.
No shit.
Has they have a short float or short percentage of 45.9%. So over half the company, over half the shares are being shorted right now. So
Bro.
yeah, that might be the next move for Redditors is Tootsie Roll Industries, because fuck that.
Bro, I love me some Tootsie
I know,
Rolls.
dude. We were just talking about go to
I
the
remember
big drive.
The Fruities, the
Yeah.
Tootsie Rolls.
All right, go fucking ahead.
I remember. I'm sorry. If I get it, I have to say
It
it.
better
I'm
be
gonna
about
forget it.
Tootsie Rolls.
So this is about. This was about, and when I was watching videos, and this is going back to the idea of the back in when 2008 or 2009 when the car manufacturers, the last big short happened, and the government was bailing out these companies, but they were going in for bankruptcy. So it's like
Except Ford.
What happens when?
Except for Ford.
What happens when the company? So if they they owe these people all this money, but if the company goes into bankruptcy, there's no money left, right? Like that's what I was kind of understanding, that if a company were to go into bankruptcy and wasn't able to pay back the funds that they owed to the people would be, if they didn't sell and held on to that shit and there was no money there, that
The stock would plummet.
well, that they just I
mean,
understood
like-
is that they there just wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, there wouldn't be. Is that what would happen? The stock would plummet. There'd be no money left. Is that how? It would,
Yeah,
if
I
they
mean,
went
as long as
bankrupt?
as long as game shops, Jesus fucking Christ,
GameStop.
literally GameStop's stop. As long as GameStop's stock is like,
Dude,
where
it's just like one of those like tongue twisters.
It's so
fucking
tip
awful.
of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, tip of the tongue.
Who the fuck knew?
As long as their value, their share value is what it is right now, they're not gonna go bankrupt by any means. But like what they fucking, I don't know.
But wouldn't be GameStop? Would it be GameStop that would go bankrupt and not allow people to
Melvin
have money, or would it be Melvin
Melvin
Capital?
Capital
if
will
they went bankrupt.
Melvin Capital was literally on the verge of going bankrupt last week twice. I'm going to say that for you 2 times. They were bailed out twice.
2 times,
by
2 bananas, one gorilla,
2 bananas, or 2 apples for Michael.
2 apples.
Okay, thank you.
2 apples. They were bailed out twice.
So what happens if
Melvin
they just-
Capital goes under?
If they just go under,
Fucking-
then there's no money, right?
What?
Everyone who invested is not going to have the money coming back
There's
to them.
no, I mean, they're people will get their money back, but the hedge fund will cease to exist, and the succession.
What happens if there's no money in there then?
Will people eventually
money of what? In Melvin
Like-
Capital or the hedge funds?
in
or
Melvin
Yeah, or
Capital
both.
if they don't have money?
the hedge funds crumble. That's the fucking
exactly.
goal right
So
now.
we're trying to get
It's
rid-
the people versus the hedge funds who've been fucking
But
over.
there is
But what
chance
happens
that
if there's no
GameStop-
money left,
But
though?
they won't see their money.
no,
is
there
the
will
thing.
be money left.
How?
Melvin Capital can't go bankrupt and just like not give you your
Yeah, you
investment
can.
money.
That's what going bankrupt means.
No. They have to have that shit covered by like insurance. Like, there's no way. Like, if Melvin Capital is my hedge fund manager and I have like $100,000 invested, like they have to give me that money before they fucking.
Where do they
call
get it
quits.
from?
Well, it's from what they own, right? So, like, let's say they own
All
this
they
much
are-
money and this much is by stocks. Once they get down to this amount,
have-
that's when they're
that's when
bankrupt,
they're bankrupt.
because they
Yes.
they
'Cause
have
otherwise,
no money.
otherwise it's failure to deliver, and then a whole lot of people get in trouble. A whole lot.
So,
Especially Melvin.
Yeah. Fuck that
Melvin's
guy.
Fucking
fucked.
Melvin.
Fuck that
God
guy.
damn it,
That
Melvin.
guy can fucking eat my balls.
They salty.
So they don't have enough money, but now what happens when they're in a tight situation? Like, how likely is it that the government will step in and bail them out? Is it likely that they
Don't know.
could?
I really don't know.
That's where I'm worried about. Like, how much more money?
Depends on how much
because
stock Ted Cruz holds. With
It's
them or
like,
something.
in my mind, it's like, so what happens if the American people own this much stock? They're going to lose money on it, but it's the goal to try and shut this hedge fund down. But it's like, how much money of that gets lost from the American people versus this company that's going to lose a shitload of money, but also a possibility that they could be bought, or not bought now, saved by the government, like they could be given.
You're gonna have. I don't
called.
know. I don't really know the numbers to that. I mean, like, I don't know. You have, like, right now. I mean, call it fucking. Like I said, 8.1 million, or 8.1 million members or degenerates on Wall Street Bets. So you could call it probably easily. I mean, you could maybe say that like 2 to 3 million of those 8.1 million are holding GME right now. It's so X amount plus whoever the fuck is on the market. I mean, like, more people are gonna make money off of this GME move. I think. I could be fucking wrong as fuck, but like, I don't know. The people who are fucking with Melvin Capital, it's probably old white money, and they can fuck off. If they lose their fucking life savings, suck my dick, because they probably are living in like a $300 house or a fucking whatever the fuck. Like, they're probably fine. They can
300.
afford
300.
Yeah.
Bring up the gorillas and the
Fuck you.
bananas.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, fuck you. That's like, if I lived in a $300,000 house, fuck, dude, I'd be like, I don't need nothing. Just give me a bunch of Tootsie Rolls and I'm good. So, like, no, they can fucking, like, it's most of the people that are invested in Melvin Capital and, like, hold positions with them is probably old white money. And, like, if Timmy fucking can't get, can't get fucking dubs on his 2020 Mercedes-Benz, like, I don't give a fuck. Suck my balls.
So, like, a majority of the people that
$300,000 house.
You're saying, like,
is not very big,
it would
by
be
the way.
okay
I
because
don't
a
care.
lot of the people
No,
on the
yeah,
Wall
it's very,
Street
very
bets.
small. Like,
Yeah.
that's like the average new house.
in Iowa.
Damn, I didn't realize how actually
Dude,
Yeah.
poor we are.
Yeah.
the houses that I was
Fuck
building
Melvin
when we lived together were like $400,000 houses.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But so, like, you're saying that, like, so the majority of the people from this Reddit thread, like, they're doing this, but they're not doing it with their, like you said, the one guy's putting like 40K of his or whatever of his life savings in, but that's just one guy. Like, majority of the people are probably just putting in what they can afford to just buy it up.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
even
like,
if they lose it, they're probably just like whatever. But it fucks with the hedge fund
I make
more than.
bets. I make bets like that all the time. Like, at each paycheck, I'll just make like a fucking. If I see a good opportunity, I'll throw like fucking whatever the fuck. I mean, whatever I can afford to. If it, my fun money, I'll just toss it in. And be like, fucking ride along, see what happens.
Right.
That's it. I mean, like.
So I mean, that's good to know that like people wouldn't fucking hopefully.
That's why
majority of people.
Yeah, that's
wouldn't,
why. That's why like Robin Hood was great, or up until this bullshit.
Yeah,
because you could just do really
yeah,
cheap.
because I mean, you could buy fractional shares too, so you didn't have to buy fucking an entire share of GME. You could buy I own like 0.4 of one, and I bought in just to see what the fuck happens, because like, fuck it. I mean, if
Can always go up.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, if the short squeeze happens, GameStop shares, it theoretically could, the squeeze could be infinite, because they're shorted 130% right now. So like theoretically, if shit went correctly and like power to the people and like everybody just fucking held the line together, everybody's linking arms, just like, we're not fucking moving. GameStop shares
Hold the door.
They could reach $20,000. So like, that to me, I just made fucking a little under 10 grand on that happening. And of course I'm going to fucking cash out. GameStop's going to go back to what the fuck it's valued at, and everybody walks away happy, and I made $10,000 off of X amount that I put in.
Or they go bankrupt.
GameStop?
Nope.
No,
everybody.
Melvin.
Melvin?
Everyone.
Yep,
or
and
That's
Melvin?
going to happen. Melvin's done.
Right.
Nobody's selling right now.
So how do you get your money though? If you know,
Melvin,
If
what do
they
you
go,
mean? My,
well,
That's what
like
I'm
he
saying.
said earlier, they have the
You think
reserve.
so?
Yeah.
They have the they
I'm
have
not
to.
buying.
have
I don't-
the
I'm
reserve.
not buying my share of GameStop through Melvin Capital. I'm buying it from the market.
right?
It's on the market right now.
So even if Melvin doesn't, or
If
they
Melvin-
will have the funds, or the market will cover that. If
So
Melvin
you already
can't.
bought yours though. What if nobody,
Yeah.
you know?
There's only a set number of shares of GameStop on the market, which
But
is what
can't they
determines the
split
value.
shares though?
Huh?
Can't
Yeah,
once you get to
fractional
it.
shares.
Well, no, once you get
Oh,
up to a
you're
certain
talking
amount.
about basically what Tesla did.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then they split.
Yeah, I mean they could do that, but it's like if I own one share of GameStop now and they cut it and they split the shares 1-3, I still own 3 shares of GameStop
Right.
at $100.
Right.
So it's the market value is gonna stay the same. It's not
but
like
they could just keep going up.
yeah, exactly.
And what if there's
So,
no?
yeah, if it kept going up beyond
Tesla-
what
Tes-
they had, or once it gets up to a point where
And then they split it.
Well,
and
no,
then
like
it goes
if-
up to, like.
So I think I don't know if I'm thinking the right thing, but I had this similar question. Like if they have to have enough funds to be able to pay it out, or else they go bankrupt. But what happens if the money that they are supposed to buy back the funds at? Do they have to, like, if the funds get so big to a point where that's what bankrupts them, they then have to they're forced to buy out all those stocks.
Okay, I
and
need to know
become-
who they is.
Like if Melvin, so let's say Melvin buys all these stocks and the money keeps going up, and it's like, are you
Melvin
saying,
hasn't
like,
bought any stocks. Melvin has not bought GME. They're shorting it.
right? They're
bar- and
borrowing it.
They borrow.
and they have to buy it back.
They literally borrowed 130% of the GameStop shares on the market. They borrowed 30% over what actually exists. Does that make sense? So they
Right,
borrowed
yeah.
all these stocks and then sold them.
Borrowed from
So
who?
now
From
the market,
fucking-
us,
yeah.
the people who own them. So like shorting is selling.
How does that
something
work?
Exactly. That's why it's fucked. Shorting is you're selling a stock that you don't own. So like I have a share
Right.
of GameStop. Melvin borrowed that share from me technically and then sold it. So they made money off of it.
But so my thing is like, what if they?
But now they're fucked because
So
now they
they-
owe me a share
Right.
and fucking like 30 bananas.
Right. So what happens if they
Apples.
owe you
Apples, sorry.
They-
Sorry, yeah. 10 bananas and 10 apples.
They owe you this much amount of money, and they have about this much amount, and they owe you this amount. So everyone ends up having to. They have their shit rise up, and it's a bunch of money to where Melvin Capital. Once people make enough, like the stock is that high to the point where they're bankrupt. Like if so if the price gets so high, are they forced to? That's bankruptcy. Is them? They're forced to buy back the stocks to give to the people.
Yeah, because
That's they're forced to
not
do
only
it.
do they have to cover their short, which means buying the stock back and then giving it back to the market. You also have interest on your short position. So not only
So they have to cover that too.
So yeah, so like the whole thing was they sold the stock for 10 bananas, and now the stock's worth 70 bananas, but they still haven't covered the short. So now the interest keeps compounding, and 70 bananas turns into 80 bananas every day,
And
then
let's-
So-
90
Let's say-
bananas tomorrow,
Let's
100
say
bananas
all
tomorrow.
the company
after that.
has is 120 bananas. So when it gets up to 120, that's when the company has to say, "All right, well,
There's
this
no
is it.
set.
We're done."
There's no set date of covering. You can literally short forever, but you have to cover it. That's the rule.
You just have to cover
You
it.
have
is
to
the
cover
thing.
it.
Okay,
So-
that was my question. Like
and-
that's when it's like you can't
and
not
here's the
buy
thing.
it back if it goes up more than you have.
This is the fucking crazy thing: is these psychos? Not even psychos. They're degenerates. They're beautiful
Bruces.
fucking people. I love them so much. Wallstreet Bets, you are my
Oh,
life.
they're
I
the
read
Reddit
you
people.
every day. I love this. I've loved this subreddit ever since I discovered it. God bless them. They calculated how many trading days it's going to take for Melvin Capital to cover their short position, and it's an entire trading week. It will literally take Melvin Capital an entire week to cover their position. Like they can't just like sell in bulk and it's like, okay, here it is. and then they're done. Like, it doesn't happen in 2 seconds. It literally will take 5 days, and for those 5 days, fucking GameStop is literally gonna fuck the moon. We're going to fucking Mars at this point, and you're gonna see GameStop just fucking reach unfathomable amounts as long as we hold the fucking line. If we hold the line, GameStop could be infinitely shorted.
To the point,
Theoretically, most people, like, 1,000, like, you keep seeing $1,000 is not a meme, $1,000 is not a meme. Like, that means the share price of GME could reach $1,000. If it's infinitely shorted like it is, and nobody fucking sells until we reach the tip top, which nobody knows what the top's going to be.
Is the tip top
the tip top could be
maximum
$1 million.
that Melvin owns?
No, the tip top is fucking as, like, well, it would be...
So if the tip top goes high and Melvin
Tip
can't
top,
cover that,
I would say that the infinitely tip top that GME could reach would maybe, and this is fucking almost far fetching, as $20,000 a share.
But so what happens if the tip top goes so high and Melvin can't cover the cost of buying back those stocks and they go bankrupt, or do they have enough to cover it to the point that they can't cover it and they have to go bankrupt?
Gotcha.
And
Okay,
buy
so they'll go bankrupt.
They have to liquidate all their other assets.
They'll have to liquidate.
Okay, so what if all their assets are just some dude sitting on his computer down in his mom's basement?
Well, that's gonna get
Liquidated,
taken.
fucking-
God damn it!
So you get it.
No, yeah, so
And the grandson.
that's where the risk department comes in. It's like they'll declare bankruptcy before they're not able to liquidate their shit and pay off their short. They will never not be allowed to cover their short. If they don't cover their short, that's failure to deliver, and then
They
their
have to be able
CEO
to
and
cover it.
everybody down the line will get sued.
So that's what
for
I'm saying.
fucking
If the
so
number
much
gets
money.
to a certain point,
That's an
are
SEC
they
violation.
Right, okay.
They literally can't
That's
do
cool,
that.
but where do you get, but then they don't have no job, so where do you get that money? You get $1.84 a month from these people, because I've got paychecks for $1.84 from somebody that fucking stole shit from me, and what they get is I get $1.84 a month, because they ain't got no job, so you're gonna get restitution for it.
I mean, the people who.
But what the fuck is it worth if you're getting $1.84?
I mean, I'm not getting $1.84. I'm gonna fucking be selling GameStop stock at $20,000.
but they don't have any GameStop stock won't be worth anything because they went under.
No,
But the
it's not. No, it's
companies
not. We're talking about Melvin. GameStop and Melvin.
Melvin went under then.
Yeah, that's fine. Melvin can go under.
But
It's not,
they
it's
have
not gonna
enough.
affect us
They're
at all.
always going to have enough money, or would the money come
But
from
aren't
not
those
them, but
aren't those the
someone
people
else?
that fucking
Are shorting the stock.
yeah?
So,
So
like-
those are the people that bought the stock.
They borrow.
They
No,
borrow the stock, so
borrow.
they're the ones that paying the money.
So the SEC will literally not let them deliver like that.
okay.
They can't. They just can't do that. It's not like that won't happen because like if you're gonna short, you have to fucking cover.
You can go to jail. Fucking what's his name did it? Didn't he? Fucking
Jordan Belfort,
something like that. Yeah, I think
the
so.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh no, that's not who I was thinking of.
Mom.
Oh,
You have to cover your short, otherwise it's failure to deliver, which is that's fucking.
okay. So you go to
going to
prison.
jail.
Okay, you go to it'd probably be prison. So you go to prison, and then nobody gets their fucking money, and it's only a fall on one guy.
No, it's not. I mean, like, well, even if fucking Melvin didn't deliver, they wouldn't owe me. Like, they're not gonna. I'm not gonna get a check for that restitution. It's like it doesn't matter.
Exactly,
It's
you're not gonna
it's
get
gonna
anything.
affect us.
It's-
No,
no,
it's
no,
not. That's
you're
not the
not-
point.
okay,
I'm
I don't
saying-
understand.
Melvin is a different entity as opposed to what the stock is worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Melvin is its own thing.
So, but is it
And
Melvin the
okay,
one
so-
paying everybody?
Hold on,
So,
hold on,
no,
hold on. No,
no.
I got it. You're Melvin. You're Melvin Capital. I'm me. I'm a retail investor.
Okay.
You bet GameStop is falling. It ain't.
Right.
It didn't fall. I'm a retail investor. I bet it's going up. I'm making money. You're not right now. Whatever happens to you, I don't give a shit about. The point is that you're a hedge fund and I hate you. You don't affect me. You don't affect the amount of money I make off GameStop. You're just.
Okay.
Even if
you're
he
just,
goes
you're-
bayou're
I don't give a fuck what happens. To
Okay,
him.
so I see.
You'll
I
still
see what
make
you're
some money.
saying.
Yeah.
You're saying the
I
money
see what
comes
you're
from the
saying.
market.
It's a
like you
completely-
said
it's-
before,
it's-
not from Melvin.
The market,
No,
yeah.
the money doesn't
if
come from
Melvin
Melvin.
went under, dude.
Oh, okay.
If Melvin
That
went
makes-
under, everybody would fucking celebrate. I don't give a shit what happens to Melvin.
That's
It's
okay.
like- it's
That's-
like the-
that's-
it's like-
I thought it was coming from Melvin.
No.
See, I thought they had to
no.
pay back
No.
what they borrowed.
They do, but they're
But
not,
what if they don't have money to pay back?
Then they're
Then the
fucking
market
going
doesn't
to jail.
affect you.
It doesn't affect me.
affect
It's
you.
not going to
No.
affect me.
But the market
Okay.
will still have the money.
Fuck yeah!
Awesome.
I'm still gonna
That's-
sell.
I
I'm still
thought
gonna sell
Melvin
GME
had
at
all
the
the
top,
money.
baby.
I thought Melvin had all the money.
No. GameStop. Okay, there's X amount of shares on the market of GameStop. GameStop released those shares in their IPO, which is their initial public offering. So like, there's only X amount of shares of GameStop. That's what controls the value of it. So yeah, they can split stock at 300 and go 3-to-1. on
Right.
it. So
But you're
like
still
one
making
share
money
turns
on
into
it
3,
because you
but I'm
still
still
have
gonna,
shares.
Exactly. My
Okay.
one share is going to turn into 3.
That's awesome.
Literally-
That was my
Yeah.
biggest fear.
So then,
All
what
of-
happens when GameStop goes under? and then you know.
I'm gonna sell before that happens.
Well, you would think
Wall
so,
Street
but
bets,
everybody's
they're gonna be
holding.
like-
Everybody's holding.
We're holding.
So,
I mean,
so then once somebody says, "Okay, sell," and everybody's selling at once,
yep.
you're fucked.
No, not
No,
unless-
just
Unless you're fucking sitting there watching it 24/7.
yeah.
As a smart person should do if you have a lot of money on the
Dude.
fucking market, though. You know?
I
if you, it's
fucking
that's
wake
market
up at
101,
I
isn't
wake
it?
up at market open and I just watch all
Damn.
fucking morning
You know
until I
what
get
would
to
suck
work.
though if it was like, you get to work at like 4:30.
There's
and
no
you fucking,
there's no possible.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, before you even say that, there's no possible way that GME would hit $20,000 and then fall to $1 in a day. Like literally, there's shit that is in place that prevents that from happening. You hear it all the time. That happened the past week. It's called the circuit breakers. It happened in the COVID drop. That's what happens when the market itself, the New York Stock Exchange, stops trading because the stock is plummeting or going up so fast that nobody knows what the fuck. The market doesn't know what this guy bought at and this guy sold at. So they have to stop trading for 10 to 15 minutes, recalibrate, and then they'll continue trading. It's called a circuit breaker trigger stop.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll all have, like I said, once the squeeze happens, everybody's going to know. It's public information, like when not Citadel, Jesus Christ. Well, Citadel has it shorted too, but when Melvin Capital and all the hedge funds start covering their shorts,
Right.
we'll know when that happens. And we know 5 days from that date, or 4 days, or 3 days if you want to make money off of it, don't sell. But the minute that they start covering their short, that's when you need to be watching. You can wait 3 days in, but everybody knows it's going to take Melvin Capital 5 trading days to cover their short. So when we see them starting to cover their short, that's when everybody's going to be timing their out.
Okay, that makes sense.
Before the drop. GameStop is pretty much the only one right now that you actually have to time it. Everything else is go long. I'm holding Nokia for a year.
I'd rather just pay somebody to do it for me.
Yeah, that's what most people do. That's
That's
when you go to Melvin Capital.
that's
and they're
what
like,
I
we can
do.
make you money, dog.
They call me fucking Melvin Capital.
Bro, that's crazy. That's a wild thing to think about.
So,
that it's like
okay.
the brokers you go to are just.
So then listen to this. You got
fucking
Melvin
peer.
Capital, that's a broker or whatever, right?
Or their hedge fund, but yeah.
What if it's not all just millionaires? What if it's just regular people fucking investing in stocks? And then you're fucking them too? So
Maybe they shouldn't have trusted their broker.
Yeah, don't fucking
right?
short GameStop. Fuck your puts.
But they're shorting GameStop because
Don't
GameStop's
fuck
a piece
with-
of shit company.
Don't fuck with gamers.
That's what
the
I'm
moral
saying.
Of the story.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. Why you
Shouldn't trust your broker.
fucking the
There's
why you
more-
fucking the market because the
You're
game
not.
Why?
Because there's more people betting on GameStop right now than there are shorting.
I understand that, but why would you be betting on GameStop going up?
We're not. We're betting on the short squeeze.
See, I understand that though, but what I'm saying is though, I understand that. So say, you got fucking 45 people from your fucking company that are like, dude, GameStop fucking sucks. We're gonna bet on them to go under, and it's like just regular fucking Joes. It's not millionaire fucking motherfuckers, So why are you and GameStop's going under because it's a piece of shit company. So I mean, I understand you're gonna make money. People are making money off these people, right?
Dude, I'm not even shitting you. Like, it's not GameStop. It's not the company. It has nothing to do with GameStop. It has zero.
I think
GameStop
what
just-
you mean.
I'm saying though, like,
There's
okay,
Joe Schmoes
that are also like
but it's short's a bad
They
thing.
didn't do their due diligence.
Yeah, they didn't do their
because they don't have because they trusted somebody else to do it.
Probably.
Okay,
Probably.
so okay,
That's why, like
I
you
guess
said,
so.
always do your own fucking research if you really want to.
That way, if you get fucked, you blame yourself and nobody else. That's it's called due diligence. You
And I
have
think
to do
Right.
due
isn't
diligence.
it when you do stocks though? And this is my thing. Can't you? Don't you talk to your brokerage and whoever you're putting your money in through?
Your
you
financial
tell them,
advisor.
You tell them, look, I want to do safe stocks. This is where I want to be at.
Blue
I
chips
want
are
to
like
do
rock
middle. I
bottom.
want
It
to
would
do
be
high.
a safe stock because GameStop is a
but-
piece of shit fucking company.
I know,
and
but
it's gonna
people-
go downhill.
so would people-
So then somebody found this out and was like, "Oh, let's fuck this company because we can make a lot of money off them." Isn't that just the same thing as fucking them doing it to you?
But they're high
Well,
risk
yeah,
investments.
but
Exactly. So what does it matter?
What do you're comparing apples to oranges though?
Apples to bananas.
Either way, you're talking about fucking people on Wall Street fucking over you, as opposed to you fucking over people
Well,
on Wall
what if
Street.
they're not? What if? Okay, so what I'm saying is, you got 45 people from your company that went into this fucking brokerage and was like, "Hey, invest our money because this is our 401k money or whatever." and they're investing it into GameStop because they're a dead company and nobody wants to fucking deal with GameStop because they're a piece of fucking shit company. So you got your brokerage that you got your whole company fucking into because
I see what you're saying.
you know
That broker.
No, yeah,
that broker
but your
and that
broker
CEO
is
shitting his
fucking
pants
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know.
that's what I'm saying though,
Yeah.
you know. So it's
gonna-
not just fuck the millionaires too. It's fuck
Yeah.
everybody.
No,
that's
it's
But I
not
think-
do
that.
only
no,
millionaires?
The whole movement is fuck the millionaires.
But do only millionaires? Are they
Lose
the
from
only
it. Do
people
only-
there-
yeah.
I'm sure
that
there's
has shorts on this?
I'm sure there are a couple regular people that fucking whatever.
But the majority of the Joe Schmoes.
I just-
but
that's
the Joe,
just what
but
I'm
the, I
saying.
guarantee the Joe Schmoes fucking like.
So at what point do you? Does
So
this
here's the thing.
make-
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is like when you short, like I said, the banana, fucking whatever the fuck. Like I get the $10 from selling that stock. The minute the stock drops, if you go okay, so let's bump it up. I get $20 for the banana for selling it. If banana drops to $10 or a certain price, like I'm gonna cover my short before I lose everything. So like. I guarantee the Joe Schmoes that were in this short position along with Melvin Capital that followed them into the darkness already covered their shorts. But Melvin is the only one that's hanging on right now because they only have they have the liquidity to hang on.
So-
No regular retail investor, unless they're a millionaire, have enough money to cover their short. That if somebody shorted GameStop at $20, right now you'd have to have as
Yeah.
much
So they
money as
already
Melvin.
went. They already went broke.
No, they didn't go broke. Well, some of
You
them
know,
might have.
that's what I'm saying,
but they
though.
lost. I mean, they didn't go broke. But
Okay.
I'm saying like they're obviously you're gonna fucking liquidate before you like lose the house. You know
I have
what
a kind of a
It's like,
question that I
Mel-
agree with Mike too. Sorry, before I forget, I'm a very
20
forgetful person.
27
27
now, yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So like people who are Joe Schmoes that are in their 401k plans that are in like investing in someone who's doing this squeeze, are the investors for this company? Are they going to get the people out of that situation before it gets bad to where they will lose money? Is that what you're saying? You said Melvin's going to stick with it, but you said are they going to get the normal money for other people like out? Like are they going to get people out and just say, look, this is a bad investment now. Like let's just buy this out for you normal people and then we'll do something else. Is that kind of what's going to happen?
Most
or-
likely, I can't think of a smart financial advisor that a month ago or a year
That
ago was
w-
like, hey man, GameStop's the move, bro.
Like stay in it, even though people
Fuck
were
no.
short squeezing, but stay. That's
I mean,
what I
like,
think. It's like
it
you don't want.
It all
yeah.
depends on what risk you want your portfolio. Like I'm sure, like some financial advisors or some idiot called his financial. He's like, bro, I want to fucking hop in on this GameStop squeeze. It's like, and the financial advisor is probably like, it's gonna be like you have high risk and then you have like
Yeah.
ultra high. You're gonna
That's
get,
what I was
might
thinking.
get
Like
fucked
you have
risk.
your
What
low
do you
risk.
mean?
and-
GameStop's been dying
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah,
How is that
but
high
it
risk?
literally-
I mean, that's high risk.
No,
No, a
it's-
short
it's-
squeeze is high risk.
Yeah.
It's not.
short-
It's a short. It's not a short squeeze then.
It's a short squeeze.
Well, at this point now.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
I'm talking about betting on the stock going up.
You said like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like some.
Not
asshole-
about GameStop getting better, just about the stock. Not
Yeah,
that
like
GameStop
like,
itself
if-
is gonna
if-
fucking
if
rebuttal.
Dylan here was just like a year ago called his financial advisor like, man, I want to fucking move like half my portfolio into GameStop. I think they're gonna have a really good year, man. Like, financial advisor's gonna be like, no, call back tomorrow, try again, and then hang up on you because that's fucking stupid.
Right.
But if you
But
called
I-
him today and it's like, hey,
I'm doing the opposite. I'm saying the opposite. You're saying the opposite of what I'm saying is. What I'm saying is, at
you
some
want to
point-
short it.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah. Your financial advisor would have gotten you out fucking
I understand
the minute
that.
that share price hit like $50.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense because
Yeah.
they're
And
gonna
for
they're
the
not gonna
average-
see the price go
For-
up, and they're not
for-
gonna say, "Let's just hold on to
Yeah,
it."
no
let's
fucking-
hold, baby.
Right.
Let's hold.
Fuck
Dude.
no, dude would fuck
Dude,
no.
I know what you're saying. I
Yeah.
know you're broke, and I know you got $300 to your name, but let's fucking hold, dude. Let's just. I know
Well,
you're
I mean-
about to lose like $300.
Yeah, it's like, hey, do you want to liquidate?
$300,
You don't want
but-
to liquidate your house for this fucking GME bet? Fuck yeah, hold, bro. It's like you are fighting the market right now. Market wants GameStop to go up.
Bro, I gotta let you know they're gonna come for your dog. Okay, dude, let's
That's
do it.
where I draw the line.
He's an asshole.
I'll live in a cardboard box. Just
He
want
likes
the
to
dog.
bite my ankles and he pees on my carpet. Take that, motherfucker.
Right.
I don't think that's how it exactly works, but it could. I mean, could. Maybe not your dog, but your couch and your TV
So-
in your house.
We could make companies go under faster doing it this way. People
What-
that have shorts, that
Well,
if they're
that's
already
the-
going
you-
under,
yeah, you
if
can-
they're already going under, we could fucking
You can make
do that
hedge
shorts.
funds go under. The
like
GameStop
that, though.
itself is getting held up.
Okay.
So this is a good thing for dying companies if people.
Well, it's not even about
to,
dying companies. It's about.
But they still make money
it's
from
about,
it.
It's about the fucking dude that can barely pay his rent next week. Now has $10,000 in his bank account.
But I think
Right, but you're still
not
paying
about
these CEOs a bunch of money for the stocks and shit, right?
What do you mean?
no,
Like,
you're not paying the CEOs.
Who makes these stocks? How do these stocks? Who gets paid for the stocks?
company.
GameStop themselves released the stocks.
Who gets the money from GameStop? The CEOs probably.
No, not
right?
the CEOs. No, the
company-
CEO is
the
on
company
a
itself
salary.
gets the revenue, or the company itself gets the liquidity.
It's so say.
I mean, the
you're-
CEO does get a portion of that.
You don't think they get a, yeah, exactly. They're going to get a bonus or something.
Think about it this way. Think about it this way. Say there's 10 owners of a business and you sell hamburgers, and you sell 500 hamburgers for $10 a piece. Do you think that gets split up between the owners, or do you think that goes back into the business? That's how it
goes
works.
back
with
into the business, and
Exactly.
then it gets split up in between the owners
The
and
left-
split in between
the
everybody
leftover
else. The leftover
for the
gets-
owners, but with a public company, the shareholders are the owners. And so the CEO is there on a salary, but he doesn't get the leftover like a privately owned bit. Like if you and your buddy opened a restaurant,
Okay.
like it.
You don't think you would get bonuses?
I mean, yeah, they get bonuses all the time. The whole thing
So,
about the
GameStop's-
hold
so
on.
GameStop's
Hold on.
Yep.
The whole thing about being a CEO isn't about getting bonuses. The CEO of a company is the fall guy for the company. If anything goes wrong and the shareholders are mad about it, like the CEO is the first person to go.
Yeah, but
then the COO. Have you ever watched The Office? I mean, it happens in season 3 like
But
two
the
times.
thing about it is though, like they're making the I mean, they're not making the company money, but the company's making money on shares, on stocks and shit like that. So they're obviously, gonna shit.
Yeah, I mean, they probably get bonuses and rollbacks and stuff, but it's not like they're getting a percentage of what the company makes.
Well, because
That's
the
not-
money
I'm just-
circulates through the stockholders and the people, right? Like the money doesn't really see the company that much. Is I was thinking about that too. Does the money not see the company?
When you're buying
as
stock,
much?
you're
'Cause
buying
it
a
goes
share in a
through.
company. Like you are so say you buy 10% stock of a certain company, you own 10% of that company. Like you yourself are 10% owner of that company.
Right, but the money,
Which you're never
the money,
going to get in like GameStop and stuff like
right,
that.
but the money between you
But-
owning 10%, the money goes real. In my understanding, and this is probably a bad understanding. It's probably not a very good understanding. I don't have a very good understanding of this, but
if you say bananas, I'm going to punch you in the dick.
so there's 3 bananas. But so the money is going between, usually the stockholders and shit, and yeah, there could be a lot of money going through, but I mean, like we were saying, like, I mean, yeah, it has a lot of money, but I mean, that's really just being held by the people who own the stocks of the company. Like, it's like you said, like you own 10% of the business. Like, it's not necessarily
but you're
going
giving
to
this
the company
money.
but they get
for
it.
their-
They get a
No,
little bit of
you're
it.
investing one time. It's not like
Like they
When
get
you're
it
giving
when
this
you
company money, though.
okay. So
A little bit,
like
I'd
when it goes
imagine.
up and down, you don't have to give them. Like if it goes up
I
$5,
understand
you
that.
don't
I
have.
understand that, but you gave them X amount of your money.
Yeah,
You
you bought
invested.
into the company.
You're investing in it for it to get better.
But people know that this company is not gonna get better because it's a piece of shit company. So
You're not able to get
But
past
you're,
the.
I know.
GameStop thing.
I understand why, but I just don't understand why. Like I understand that
Because there's
I
a
understand that you can do this
it's-
to fuck the hedge fund managers. I know you can do it to fuck the hedge fudge. Blah, 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 blah.
Fudge
Because
manager.
they
Fudge
bet-
managers. I know
because-
you can do that. I know you can fucking. I just don't understand.
It's because they shorted over 130% of the stocks that exist.
I understand that.
That's why it's GameStop.
GameStop, it literally has
I
nothing to
understand
do
that.
with the fact that like GameStop is a dying company. It just like it could be Hitler Incorporated, and this still would have happened.
Is that a thing? I don't want to invest in that.
I don't think so.
I mean, unless it's a dying
But
company, then I'm
all-
gonna take out some shorts.
It literally could have been literally any ticker at all. Like it could have been any dying company. It could have been. I mean, like AMC is in this too because everybody thought.
That's just my thing, dude. Why? Okay, so I understand that you can make money off these dying companies by fucking over people that are investing because these companies are dying. Like they know they're gonna die. So and I understand that's how you make money, but like, okay, is that the joke?
Is that the joke?
It's not.
I understand that.
It's not. I mean, it's like not.
Like, I understand that people are making money off these companies that are getting fucked. Not getting fucked, but like, you're taking this company for a ride.
But I think it's like, it's not that they're making money. It's that they're hoping. It's the market, man.
They're betting against it, and then people bet it against their bet. Like, that's literally...
It's all bets. It's just gambling, dog. It's like going to the races, motherfucker.
So you just got more people betting against one person than the other.
That's where I feel like
That's literally exactly what it is.
Exactly. So what happens if you just get more people to bet on the side of the millionaires? What if the millionaires have more money?
Well, that's what they've been able. That's what they've been able to do since the 20s until apps like Robinhood and shit came around. That's why it's so big. Is that now we can day trade? Like, the average Joe can fucking day trade, and Wall Street can't hang a fucking flag of "you're a fucking peon, I'm an elite, bow down to me" over your head, because you can get on Reddit, find out what they're shorting, and fucking buy stock in that. Like, that's the whole point of the movement, is that those fucking dudes that sit 38 floors up on Wall Street, they don't have that power over us anymore. Like, that's the whole movement.
Right.
That's the whole idea.
They don't own us.
They don't own shit.
They don't control us.
They don't even own their fucking BMWs anymore because they owe fucking $10 billion. What? Did it get to $100 billion today?
Their short position?
Yeah.
Or what do you mean? Oh, like how much they lost?
How much Marvin lost. I think Michael Milano said something about it was like $100 million. Or $100 billion.
Billions. It's like
Close to the billions. Dude, also, I've been very quiet this episode. My laptop literally died halfway through the episode. I've been trying to fucking...
Is that why we haven't had any goddamn sound bites?
A little bit, but also... We're not going to have an outro track, and I have to pee. But yeah, dude, I'm fucking... Okay, so we found out that it takes 20,000 people to take over Washington, D.C. so far this year, which don't condone what they did. If you ended up in jail, like we said last episode, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, but we know the number of people that need to be there, and we can overturn Wall Street. Now I'm gonna go pee.
12.5 billion.
Did you guys see the thing that was like about? It was like a video, kind of, that was well made about. Oh, people are mad about these guys storming the Capitol. What happened when the Democrats stormed the
police stations and shit, and burned the police stations down?
Not that, but when the Democrats, I don't remember what it was for, but when they overtook the state, like the state building, and they literally occupied it. Like, you look at how many people.
Oh, you're talking about like in Michigan and shit.
It might have been.
It was like Michigan. Antifa or some shit, or like no, it was fucking. Oh, God, I know what you're talking about.
No, yeah. Antifa.
And I'm not saying I think it is. I think that's a bad. I don't like talking about that because in my mind, shit that's going on is like there's so much behind the curtain that you don't understand, that people are like they're planning shit left and right. That I don't want to say that I trust that, but it's crazy that shit's happening all over. Hopefully something like this is like one of those unifying moments that you just hope everyone fucking just fucking gets behind.
Power to the people, man.
So one thing, like I said before in the early part of the episode, one thing I wanted to talk about, I don't know, I'll wait till AJ gets back. I didn't want to say too much in depth of this, but when I was talking about in like the 2008, 2009 shit that happened with like Volkswagen. Have you guys looked into that shit, AJ?
That short squeeze?
That short squeeze and what happened there. I was like following it more, and like I think I kind of have a grasp of that.
Go for it.
But I wanted to. I don't really yeah. But it was something about like Volkswagen and like Porsche, and something with like Porsche like trying to short squeeze them. No one knows more about that. I really didn't get enough info on it, but to me that was awesome to look at. Like, that's such a recent kind of thing that happened that fucking, it's just such a crazy thing. Like, you were telling me earlier, like not earlier, but like, a few days ago when I was like, what the fuck is happening? What is this? I don't even know what the fuck's going on. This shit
happened. The long story or
like,
the short story?
Yeah,
because the short story is still long.
Yeah, that this happened literally in like 2008, 2009. And I think it was Porsche that ended up shorting. I don't think people realized it, but I think it was Porsche that shorted Volkswagen. And I think even Porsche like came out with a thing that said like I don't even know what the fuck you'd call it. And it's like, yo, like, just so everyone's aware, we're not actually trying to take over Volkswagen. We're the friendly neighborhood Porsche AG or whatever they're fucking called. Like, this isn't a takeover, but it's like, yeah, it was. Like, it's like trying to fucking make, it was the biggest, I think, the way, from what I researched, the two biggest difference in, like, stock changes happened in 2009 through that, and 2020 or 21 when this happened. So it's like back then that it happened so recent and that no one really fucking knew about it.
And you can still, like, I don't know how that wasn't the end of, like, shorting 100, like, naked shorts at running at 130, 40%. It's like, just, like, I don't understand how it's not illegal. Like, I understand shorting, but, like, I
have an answer to that. It's because literally it was leaked in 2015 that Obama's first administration was literally emailed to him like his cabinet picks from Citibank and hedge fund managers.
Yep.
So that's why they bailed out everyone, but no one got punished, and that's why Occupy Wall Street happened in the first place, where literally just hundreds and thousands of potential Bernie bros were hanging outside Wall Street. Yeah, they weren't Bernie bros yet. They didn't have a leader. But
progressive.
Dude, could you imagine if fucking Occupy Wall Street happened while Bernie was like if that happened in the last 6 years as opposed to like when it happened?
Yeah.
That'd be fucking insane. If they had like a leader and structure and a message instead of just like wearing Guy Fawkes masks.
I think it's fucking something that I'm glad that Reddit's a thing, that it used to be a big thing, and they even showed it back in the day. Like, even on Reddit back in the day, they were talking about this shit. Like, I've seen posts that they showed posts of Reddit back in the day talking about the Porsche Volkswagen shit. And it's like, it's great to see nowadays that there's enough people behind Reddit that aren't in a so-called, like back in the day, people who, like we talk about it all the time, people who think they're middle class, who are really so close to poor, like low class, that just probably didn't care enough, that thought that they were fine. But now there's so much fucking low class and Reddit and everything like that people are just like, yeah, like I like anarchy, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, take my belongings. Like, right now, like, it's just we're so fucking, like, I'll pitch in. You know, like, I'm willing, it's like a donation, you know. Back in the middle class, their thought is, I want to make money off of stocks. That's, you know, it's like, you play the stock market, make a bunch of money. But now it's like, you can pitch in a little bit of money to fuck over the stock market. And that's awesome.
Well, that's not even fucking over the market. I mean, like, there wasn't term...
Hedge funds, is that the right way to say it? Fuck over people who are trying to fuck over the stock market?
Yep. Stock market's as a whole, stock market's doing fine. I mean, NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow Jones have all recovered from the COVID drop. It took a little while, but those broad spectrum markets have absolutely recovered. NASDAQ was the first one to, but there was a little bit of pullback last week when Gamestop was soaring. Everybody got a little scared, but I mean, they've made the recoveries for that as well.
Okay, so what happens if, you know, other companies have shorts on different fucking things other than the GameStop, you know? So what happens if, like, because there are a lot of banks that have shorts on silver right now, and that's why they're doing silver. So what happens when they fail the banks?
Yeah, I also saw something on Facebook earlier today, which is just like
you know,
which is just like when you see something on Facebook, you need to be semi-cautious about what you read into it. But it was like a post, or maybe it was on Twitter, but same diff. It was someone was tweeted here's an idea. They're using the GameStop takeover to cover up for the financial collapse of 2021.
Interesting.
Wait, say that again. Sorry,
they're using the meme of GameStop takeover to cover up the financial collapse of 2021 and blame it on millennials, I think was like the whole thing.
It's instead of fucking.
To say that like all the Reddit is that you're saying that all the Reddit users doing this, like you said, all the CEOs going on to CNN or whatever saying so this is terrible, like they're trying to blame it on people why the market's about to crash. Is that what you're saying?
But it's actually fucking all the stuff that's getting signed over to make people lose their jobs and shit.
Yeah. So I mean, like the economy, like if you stock market really isn't the best way to like look at economic health by any means. Like market's doing fine now, but there's still a bunch. Unemployment's still high as fuck. There's a bunch of people around the world that are still waiting in food lines, that still like are having trouble, that are still jobless, that can't afford, and that's why this past Wednesday last week, Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, came out and had a news conference and said, we're going to keep rates low. We're keeping interest rates from 0 to 0.25 for the rest of the year for sure to make sure that the banks can still loan that money and have like all the shit that they need, so people have assistance and whatnot that can get the money, and the small businesses can get the loans that they need. And he said himself, it's like stock market it's not a good way to prove that the economy is healthy by any means. I mean, like the housing market's good, the stock market's good, but people are still not fucking still not okay, like on certain parts of the country and shit like that. So, it's not just because the S&P is up doesn't mean that I can feed myself.
Right.
So that's
right.
and shit won't pop off. Like how the market will get better is when the Fed starts to reverse inflate. Or deflate, I guess you could say. But that means they start to raise interest rates gradually, so banks' interest rates will go up, and then they start to, I don't know, in essence, paraphrasing, not actually start burning money to remove it from circulation, and then the value of the dollar will go up, and then that's how you would control the inflation. But we could still... A little inflation isn't necessarily ever bad, and he said himself, Jerome Powell did the Fed of the Chair, he's like, we calculate this shit, it's like, there's a science behind it, we're not just fucking printing money, but he said himself, it's like, if another stimulus goes out, it's still not going to be bad, it's not going to crash the value of the dollar by any means. If another round of 2,000 stimmies go out, we're going to be fine.
No, it's not that though. The people that are voting against it are the people that are like, oh, look at my record. We didn't vote for this $1 trillion increase in our fucking budget or whatever. Mm-hmm. And those are the people that are gonna probably get their seats next semester when they have votes. Mm-hmm. So those are the people that are trying to vote against it, I think, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think anyone that votes against a stimulus package at this point is basically political suicide.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, even
like we don't like, we talk about it all the time. We don't feel it as much here as other places in the country feel it. But I mean, our old roommate just moved out to California, and his girlfriend can't even apply for a job.
Yeah, I mean,
because
restaurants
they live in LA County.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the most severe lockdown in the entire country right now.
Yeah. And it has been forever.
And she can't even apply for a job because there's no openings in anything that she's done before.
Yeah. The
industry. Anything that she's qualified somewhere like that then?
Because he got a really good job.
Oh.
You got to take care of your family.
It's not like he doesn't have an issue with that. But
think about the people who are living out there already that just their
entire industry
is just
was
shut
taken away.
The fuck down,
Except for they're opening it all back up now.
In LA County? No, they're
Probably
not.
not in LA County, but everywhere else
they just reopened Chicago.
I was thinking about it too, talking about that, like
and...
people who, like, I was just thinking about that, like people who are like, we've talked about it before, like people who are in situations like that, like just move to find work. But I just thought about the situation. It's like, like what about people? There's so many people that have old people in their family too. It's like, God, I didn't even think about people who have to fucking help out their elders and shit to take care of their fucking elders.
They're talking about
not only are you trying to feed yourself, but you're trying to feed like your grandmother you're taking care of. And
yeah,
shit. It's like,
well, there's like
economy's not
there's
fine
like
right
a
now.
legitimate housing crisis in California right now, and they're talking about hundreds of thousands of people leaving California because they are not it's not that they can't work, it's they're not allowed to work,
So they can't.
and they can't pay their bills. And
Well, the thing about California is they have squatters' rights, so you can live in your house for like fucking 2 years.
dude, I trust me, I've gotten a lot of Snapchats of homeless people in LA over the last like couple months. Literally every day that my old roommate goes to work, I get Snapchats of homeless people like shitting on the sidewalk. But,
I would like to watch that video.
They're pretty
Just
funny.
saying.
But yeah, no, it's just like not every day though, but probably like once a month he sends me a video of someone like shitting on the sidewalk. And they passed a law in LA County where you can shit in public now.
Yeah.
Because there's so many homeless people there because they all got evicted from their fucking houses.
Well, I think it's like you can have a parade and have horses shit in the middle of a crowd of people. You should be able to shit. Yeah, if a horse can do it, why does a horse have more rights than I do?
If you get evicted, you have squatters' rights in California. You can stay there for like years, dude.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people, because they like, I don't know what they do to squatters there, but if
you have rights.
Well, right, but so say you haven't been able to work for 8 months, you have no money in your account, but you're able to sit at an apartment where you're just gonna drink tap water and eat white rice.
I bet you could tell me any
or
city.
are you gonna go to a different state where you can start over again? Because there's like a mass exodus in California.
What's in LA County? What's a town in LA County? Because I could look on Indeed and find jobs.
In LA County?
Yeah, I don't know fucking what jobs are in.
Los Angeles.
You want me to find a job in
but
Los
I mean,
Angeles
what's the
right
population?
now?
It's
I mean, if
gotta
you
be
want to.
fucking
now? I mean, I
massive.
could.
It's in the
It's
millions,
not
for
hard,
sure.
dude. Like, that's what you think. I looked up Riverside. I looked up a bunch of just, like, no-name fucking towns because he was saying something about I would only look up a specific town. I looked up a bunch of different towns. You can find jobs easily. There's people looking for fucking bus boys, everything, bro. You can make money anywhere. You just...
There's not bus boys in LA County.
Okay. I'll show you one after the show.
The restaurants are literally not open in LA County.
Okay, then there's some other type of job. Why do you need to go to the same kind of industry you worked in before?
No, I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying
I'm arguing that there's a point that there's jobs out there that you could get.
Is there? I mean, we'll look after.
All right.
I mean, we can look on Indeed after as we see what kind. Because I know some jobs, I've looked on Indeed before too. And I have looked in Indeed and I found a job that says, wow, this would be really cool. I've done insurance. Like, I worked in insurance for a year. Let me go look at this job. Oh, we need you to have fucking 4 to 5 years experience in insurance. Oh, shit. Okay, well, that's not for me then, because you guys,
There's a lot of entry-level jobs on there.
If there is, but it depends. Did you look in the high populated areas? That's the big thing, I feel like.
That's where the people are leaving the state, is from high populated areas like San Francisco, or LA County. Like, there's like a mass, like legit mass, like people are going to Texas, to Oregon.
I mean, I see what you're saying though. Like, I also do agree with Mike in senses that, like, maybe in their location it could be different, and who the fuck knows. But like in situations like ours,
Hey,
when
I
we
mean,
have
I'll
people-
agree too. Even in quarantine, you're gonna need a plumber. Like, you can't control them massive dumps.
Yeah, like there for sure is different ways, and I don't think we disagree that there is definitely gonna be jobs there. But for the mass amount of people that are in those high populated areas that might not have any out, it's like there's a good chance they wouldn't have a job.
Warehouse workers, trimmers, There's a lot of industries that aren't under, that are entry level that you can get into. It's just people that are stuck in their thing. Oh, I did this before. I don't want to do anything else.
Do they pay enough to live in?
I mean, $15 to $30 an hour. I mean, if you're only backing $15 an hour in California, what does it matter? That's why there shouldn't be a minimum wage federally. I'll say federally, because I do agree that there should be one. Maybe state to state.
I think even county by county would be a...
I don't see. That's why you should just be paid what you're worth.
Well, the reason the federal minimum...
I do agree. Yeah, some of those jobs, like that's what it looks like when I search in Cedar Falls almost, and like that's where I do like it's hard because it's hard to know the full fucking story. You know what's going on.
Well, how many people are sitting there making more than any of us on unemployment right now because there are actions out there that said that jobs cannot deny you COVID fucking what's it called, unemployment, even if you just have the fear that you might get it. You don't even have to have it. The fear that you might get it.
I missed out on a lot of money then, dude.
I was gonna say, what they could jobs also, like when they post something. I thought I've heard, whether it's jobs that post or jobs, I know I've heard this before, but jobs that still put out applications and try and look at people, even when they're already full. They always have their application shit open. Doesn't matter if they're full or not. They always have shit posted because they're like, you know what, we'll turn down whoever we fucking want.
And they call them back later?
If they're needed, but you have those jobs that are on there that, and I'm not saying they are, and there's, they very well could be looking for people, but the fact that that's also a possibility that jobs could be just like, yo, like we just fucking always have our shit open. Yeah, like call back later. Reserve, having people on reserve. Who knows how many people this company that people were like, oh, I'll apply here. How many of those things are they on this reserve list? I don't know. For high populated areas, I could assume it could possibly be more, I don't know.
This whole
crazy.
stock market thing, though, I think you limit people's freedom for a year, and they fucking struck back, and I think it's a beautiful fucking thing.
I do too, 100%. 100%.
Problem is, it actually could tank the entire market.
That's what I was.
Yeah, but
It could. I mean, it's a very fucking real possibility that it could, but the odds of it happening are not in favor.
Al, so would it possibly tank the market because now that more is that why it could tank it, is because there's so many more new people in the market?
It would destroy all of Wall Street. It would literally cripple every single, because not only, here's how it would work. So GME could be infinitely squeezed because it's short at 130%. So like if the stock goes up to the point where like the amount of money doesn't exist to cover everybody who owns GME's shares, like, and then they start selling, like it's a failure to deliver scenario to the point where it's like there's not enough money in the U.S. economy or like the New York Stock Exchange to like cover the money than when we want to sell. So that in turn, it's like Wall Street would have to, like, the hedge funds, that have it for you, or like Robinhood and like all these people that are like running this shit for you. It's like everybody would fucking run out of money. And then it would affect the entire stock market because hedge funds would have to pull out of the S&P. Hedge funds would have to do this. They would have to liquidate every position that they have just to cover this entire fucking GME scenario. So, like, it could fucking destroy the market. That's how. It could. It most likely will not. Like when the correction happened last week, when S&P and NASDAQ dropped 3% one day, S&P and Dow Jones dropped about 2%. That was like a lot. That was big name heavy hitters pulling out because they were just like, this shit could fucking fuck shit up. So they were taking out stock, or they were liquidating their positions to make sure that they had money, that if fucking Wall Street burned or like the economy, the market crashed, they still had money.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, it could fucking actually get that bad, but at the same time, it's like,
most likely won't. People have their shit covered in a sense. They're not dumb enough to just fucking go full fucking Chad mode and go lose all their money.
Yeah, like there is an actual top to, like there's a actual, I mean, it's an infinite squeeze, which means the price could go up for infinitely, but it's like if it rose up to everybody's talking about 69,420, that's when we sell. It's like if it reached that, there's not enough money to cover.
And they have sold cost by then.
Yeah,
they'd getting rid of their shit
that,
by then.
That in itself would that would cause a chain reaction on the market that would just fucking decimate everything. It's not gonna get that bad. There's no fucking way. GME might hit $2-3 grand if they really want to fuck shit up.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know. I'm expecting the top to be at around 1,500. I could be wrong, and I hope nobody from WSB is like, you little bitch, you need to hold. It's like, I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows when the top is going to be, but they know when the short squeeze is going to happen because they will see Melvin Capital
start buying the shit back.
Covering their shorts.
Yeah.
5 days from that day, the squeeze is over, and then that's when GameStop is literally going to fucking plummet. So you could, I mean, if you wanted to right now, if the smart move would be fucking buy long puts on GameStop, like put options contracts. That means you're betting the stock is going to fail. Don't fucking short it right now.
Right.
But you buy a put option contract for cheap as fuck, and then by the time the short squeeze is over, GameStop plummets down to fucking $20 where it's at. The $20 you spend on that options contract could be worth fucking $100. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So you can ride the moon, sell at the top, sell your shares, and then all of a sudden when it starts plummeting, then your put options contract is fucking going up, and now you just made double money because you bet on the up and you bet on the down. And that's you would hedge. That's called hedging, kind of, in a sense.
So are we gonna start our own hedge fund?
No.
Then we would need to hate ourselves.
The WRK hedge fund.
We're putting all our money
WRKH
into Al.
Jesus Christ!
Like I said before, how much do we pay you? Like, is like what?
See that?
No, he's here for free. He doesn't get paid.
You paid me a shot and a natural light. I'll probably just take another natural light and then we'll call it even.
You empty? Yeah, I mean we're definitely just gonna chill after this is over.
I gotta get back to the restaurant and see what's going on.
I don't know. Like I'm very. This year is off to. 2020 sucked. We started the show last year after I got back from Nashville, right? That was our first episode of the year.
I don't know.
And everything just kind of went downhill from there. And this year is off to a very exciting boom of just people fucking over the powers to be. Mm-hmm. And that gets my dick hard. Laptop is fucked, so we don't have outro music today. I said that earlier, but...
All right, AJ, you're going to have to hum it.
Oh, no. Dude, I couldn't even fucking try to do that. Like, how many times I've listened to it, couldn't even fucking imagine what it sounds like right now.
If I'm just going to say one last thing if we're cutting it.
Oh, well, we don't have to. I was just saying,
I don't
just
give
in
a
general.
Oh, gotcha.
Just to give people a warning when we end it, there's not going to be any music.
Okay, it's just going to be ended like this.
Yeah, we all just sit here in silence.
You're gonna end it like the Sopranos mid-sentence.
It's just gonna be the usual outro without music because I think this laptop
Dylan said he'll
took
sing.
its last breath.
Done shat. I will say this though, anybody who is listening that is involved in this fucking mess, obviously hold the line, hold, but just be smart, do your own due diligence, watch the volume. Because that's what's going to determine what's happening is the trading volume on the Robinhood or Robinhood TD Ameritrade, whatever the volume
right now.
The volume of shares traded in a day is going to tell you when the squeeze starts. So today GME dropped, what did I say, 30%, 45 all day, 30% market in intraday trading, 15% after hours. But you look at the volume and the volume is so small. And that tells me that it's not retail investors selling. It's all probably the hedge funds that were riding the wave with all the people and then wanted to get out.
Yeah.
They're
like
the
401k people or whatever.
Yeah, all the
fucking
financial whatever. It's like, okay, it's at
shit.
300 now. Like, let's sell this shit and like we'll fucking we'll take profits while we can. And then the minute that short squeeze starts to happen, it's gonna be off to the motherfucking races. But just for anybody who's in the market in general, whether you're GME or not, you're AMC, Nokia, BlackBerry, or just, Tootsie Roll International Corporation or whatever the fuck.
I got $20 for you. Start me with the hedge fund.
I got you. I'll roll that in. I wonder what their stock is trading.
I want to I want to get so many Tootsie Rolls.
I want to know
around my whole body.
I want to know what their ticker is too. Tootsie Roll Industries. They actually have they're 45% shorted right now. So if like Reddit got on something. That would be fucking. Let's see. TR. Their ticker name is TR, Tootsie Roll.
Bet.
And their share price is $37.26.
$37?
$37.26. That's the share price of a Tootsie Roll. That's pretty cool. But do your own. Like I was saying,
it's an expensive ass Tootsie Roll.
Everybody do your due diligence. Don't get fucked and just. Do you need to don't believe everything that the CEOs say on CNBC because for the last week they came out and were just like, yeah, we're liquidating we're covering some shorts, and it's like, no, the fuck they're not. When they got bailed out and then GameStop shot up, they got bailed out, GameStop dropped. When that first initial drop of GameStop happened, they doubled down on their shorts. They doubled their fucking position on the shorts. Like, what the fuck are you doing? That makes zero sense in the entire like you're gonna lose even more money, you idiot. Like,
So what if they just wait you guys out?
they can't. They can't. They literally can't because we will wait longer because all we're doing we bought the shares. Now we just sit. Now we just
Right,
sit
and
and
most
watch.
people are only
We
just
sit
putting
and
like
watch.
15, 20 bucks in.
Exactly, but as long as
And those guys have millions.
GameStop
Okay.
shares are not going to go back down to $20 until the squeeze is over because, like I said, Melvin Capital is holding their short position, holding, but they're also
Compounding
interest on that. So they literally can only hold on for as long as they have liquidity
Yeah.
until the minute that they get down, just like, okay, we have to cover our short, and then the minute like those two numbers meet of like the compound interest going up and the amount of liquidity they have, the minute those two meet, that's when it has to happen. So we can hold longer because we're in the market just for the fucking ride. They are
people
timed.
don't have as much
They are
invested.
timed by how much money they have. We could hold till fucking December if they have.
It's like when you have these shorts going on, like now how Reddit figured that out.
Yeah.
And they decided to start this chain reaction. If you're going to combat a hedge fund trying to short out a company, I mean, does it only work to combat it if you do something like Reddit and have the millions of people combat it? You have to make sure that you have a leader saying, this is what we're going to do. Because
Well, not even just.
if you,
you just have to have like a group of people that have interest in the stock to just even bump up the stock by a fucking penny if you can. It just can't fall down to that price. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
what they're shorting at, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot
if it gets down to that level, that's when they're clear to. That's when they buy it back and sell it
and then
back.
that's when the hedge funds make a fuckload of money and say
That's
fuck
when
you,
they get
retail.
that banana, dog.
That's when they get that banana, dude.
Yeah, that's when they get
Whatever they do with that banana,
they buy
it
the
doesn't matter.
buy the banana back at $5, and then they just made $5 off of just selling a banana they didn't have.
This is actually one of the most fucking awesome things I think I've ever seen happen. I can't believe I didn't notice it
It's a
before.
true revolution, and it's a massive transfer of wealth from the upper class down to the lower class. It's fucking awesome.
Hopefully-
some dude just like his what the fuck? I was just looking up his numbers right now.
Does this stop
Deep
dying
fucking value.
companies since they try and short these companies? When they short a company, does that in any way make the company die faster? Or is that like that's where I'm like,
I was
it-
wondering,
No,
stop.
not necessarily.
Is there a way we could just kill companies off?
I mean,
By-
that's what
by
they.
shorting them?
Or
Is
no,
that
never
like-
mind. That's not what happens, right?
Oh.
Like when you short a big company or like GameStop, it's not going to make them die any faster or slower.
No, not really. I mean,
Okay.
it probably had some effect. Like when the hedge funds come out, when the hedge funds come on CNBC or Fox Business, and they're just like, okay, what they ask them, it's like, oh, what are you looking at for as far as positions go? Like, what's your hedge fund doing to make money? It's like, okay, we're gonna long Facebook. We're in a long position with Facebook. We think Facebook is going to have a good year. We think, we're figuring 10% return by the end of the year, this and that. And we're also going to short GameStop. So that in itself can turn the market or the people who are listening to these fucks on CNBC or Fox Business. It's like, oh, you know what? They're shorting GameStop. I'm going to short GameStop too. That's why the fucking argument of like these assholes coming on these stock or business channels or Bloomberg or whatever the fuck. It's just like, well, this is blatant market manipulation by fucking Reddit. It's a subreddit that's manipulating the market. It's like, dude, it's literally no different than your ass going on TV and saying, yeah, I think fucking AMC is gonna go in the shitter, and then everybody's just like, well, fuck yeah, I'm gonna sell my AMC shares, and then all of a sudden their short position gets they get to buy the banana back at a lower price. So like, I mean, the argument that this Reddit market manipulation is fucking just fucking bonkers, because like, or you could say it's bananas, because it's not market manipulation at all. Dude, fucking hedge funds have been doing this every time they release their positions to the public or go on a news channel and say this, say that. It's like, that in itself is market manipulation if you want to nitpick that shit, but it's not.
Well, and
But it
you want to
is.
talk about market
But it
manipulation right before COVID shutdowns happened. We talked about it before on the show about all the congressmen, congresswomen, and senators
Who
selling
liquidated their stocks
right
before.
before the COVID lockdown.
That would
And
be market
that's-
manipulation.
That's
That would be
insider trading. Yes.
Yep.
And Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, the actual Wolf of Wall Street, was on Fox. He was on Sean Hannity's show last week.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, but when Sean Hannity and Don Lemon have the same position, I'm like, oh, this is a good fucking.
I get wet for Lemon and Chromo.
Oh man,
Oh, my God.
agree to disagree.
Those two,
But
they were in a room together with me. I'd be like, "What do you guys want to do?"
yeah, and Don Lemon would be like, "Yeah, take your pants off."
I
know it,
but
I know
all garbage.
But yeah, no, but he was talking on Hannity's show about he was like he was like what they're doing with locking people out of being able to buy shares in GameStop right now, because it happened outside of Robinhood. It wasn't just Robinhood.
No, it was Webull. It was I think
And
Fidelity.
what
TD Ameritrade.
Jordan Belfort said was, he was like, if I had done that back when I got arrested, I would still be in jail. Or if he was like, if I was involved in a scheme like that, I wouldn't be talking to you on this show right now. It's like, that is market manipulation to the point where it's not manipulation as far as you're manipulating the stock price of a thing. You're manipulating someone's ease of access to being able to acquire or sell said stock.
Right.
And that's
insane.
That is what they're trying to. I
thought
thought it was gonna be today, but there's supposedly gonna be the congressional finance.
Vlad, he has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, CEO of Robinhood has to go in front of the House and
Yeah.
explain what the fuck happened. Which I don't know. He could get fucked, but he
Dude,
would.
he doesn't have the charisma of Zuckerberg
No, he does
or
not.
fucking Dorsey.
Zuckerberg
Zuckerberg doesn't even have
drinking his water.
charisma. He's
It was so fucking funny when I saw that Vlad on Chris Cuomo's show, because like the first thing he said is like, Cuomo or Chris, man, it's a really honor. I'm so glad to be here and thank you so much. And
Chris Fredo Cuomo.
I literally, when he said that, he's like, I'm proud to be here. It's like, this is a dream come true. It's awesome to get to talk to you. And I literally just looked down. I was just like, oh, you poor thing. You have no idea what the fuck's about to happen to you. And then he got into it, and Chris Cuomo just fucking destroyed him.
Dude,
and
Cuomo's a fucking
and he asked him
tart.
questions, and he was just like, he was like, well, is it a liquidity thing? And he's like, well, no, it's not a liquidity thing. Like, we have to go through these clearing houses to make sure that we can, fund the thing. When in essence, it fucking kind of is a liquidity issue. And so he lied to Cuomo blatantly. And I was just like, I don't understand. And he would never give a straight answer why the fuck he halted trading, which pissed me
Then
off.
he lied again on
Those maintenance
CNBC.
issues.
He lied again on CNBC when he was like, "Oh, we're protecting investors from themselves."
No, the fuck you're not.
I have a question.
Yes.
Would GameStop possibly? Okay, also
No.
Would GameStop possibly also? Would they have high enough? People in the hedge funds and stuff. Would they possibly be betting against themselves? Would they have money against themselves, knowing that they're a dying company? I mean, would they have been a part of that too?
Like
That's insider
GameStop
trading.
shorting their own stock. I don't think you can actually do that
As a person, though, you could.
as a person. Like,
If you're the CEO or something, you're like.
yeah, but
fucking
then it's insider trading.
Bernie Madoff style.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. As far as like GameStop, like wondering, it's like, oh, they're making money off this. It's like they probably are to some aspect, but they're also like their risk department or like their economics or like their accountants are sitting there just like, yeah, we see what's happening. We know the short squeeze is coming. Don't fucking all of a sudden just start like taking out loans because we have liquidity now. It's like they already know the stock is overpriced.
Hey, but if you need a PS5, we got you.
yeah.
And you want to sell it back because you didn't like it? We'll buy it back for like 98% less.
Yeah, but it's that's the thing. It's like I am fucking like 100% confident that GameStop themselves knows what's happening.
All right.
They're probably stoked for the hype because like, who knows? This might actually revitalize their company to turn to like online streaming rental, because obviously the brick and mortar isn't fucking working. It's all downloadable through PS Store. Or,
Well, you can
Xbox
still
Marketplace.
get games through GameStop
Yeah.
on console, and get like the early DLC releases
for sure.
and stuff.
So it's
I don't know if I was talking to you or Beals about that the other night, but I was like, it's fucking crazy. I didn't realize GameStop was in such a bad spot.
Oh, dude, they
because-
were fucking hurting. Their
Well,
fucking share was $3 a year ago.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but
How could you not know that?
Watch the stock market.
Like, I stopped playing on consoles, so that's my excuse.
Okay.
But yeah, you can get buy a game through even digital copy through GameStop. That's where I would always get my digital copies for PlayStation.
Right.
Was through GameStop because you get the early DLC, you get cheaper Game of the Year when it comes out.
Yeah.
Shit like that. I was just like, oh man, all this shit about GameStop. That was my first thought. I was like, what the fuck? And originally I was like, yeah, don't fuck with gamers, yo. Go fuck yourself. But it's a little bit more than that.
Who knows? I mean, the meme itself of GameStop, like them just happening to be the poor saps, not the poor saps. They're probably stoked, but like that, this actually might revitalize.
That's what I was gonna say. Like the first thing that I thought about while reading into all of this, in my opinion, is just the first thing I fucking felt is, oh my god, like GameStop's like a dying company. Like God, you know, I feel bad, and then it makes you, when you said it earlier, that when you guys joked about the fucking buying a game and selling it back for literally like 95% less, I'm like, hold on. Why am I feeling bad for GameStop?
Exactly.
Fuck
Nobody
that.
Yeah, that shit was fucked.
Yeah, like I honestly, like I had buddies like my buddy Keegan went back and returned like, I remember when he told me he returned like 8, like went and sold them like used, like 8 used games or 10 used games, and maybe got like less than like $30 off of like newer fucking games, and I was like, are you fucking high?
Dude, do
like,
you remember,
did this not teach you a lesson?
When you were living with your mom at
College Square?
College Square.
Yeah, and I had pre-ordered Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and I was too excited to go all the way back to my house to play it. So me and you go back to your house, and we put the disc in, and it doesn't read. We pull it out, and there's a fucking giant gash in the disc. And I took it back to GameStop, and they're like, oh, you think this is the first? I'm like, bitch, I got this from you 30 minutes ago. You think I gashed it to get another one? Like,
yeah.
And she was like, no, you have to buy it again. So I went to Family Video, rented the game, took the took the sticker off of the Family Video copy, put it on my game.
Your copy
flipped
of it.
them around, fucking threw it right back. Like as I'm walking out, threw it right back in. Just
because fuck the hedge funds. That's why.
It's because
Yes.
it's all right.
It's the
Family
stock
Video has
market.
fucking,
yeah, Family Video.
If you get a
They got
video game
cleaners,
with a
though.
gash in the disc, fuck the hedge funds.
Dude, no, but
Yeah,
for real,
it's Melvin's
bitch,
fault, bro.
That bitch at GameStop
Melvin.
looked at me like I'm literally like maybe 16 years old. Is the first video game I bought after I started my first job.
Were you even smart
And
enough to fucking like do it back then?
No,
Like I wouldn't have thought to like.
dude, we literally
do that?
got to Dylan's house, put it in his Xbox, and it loaded, and then it wouldn't load anything because it said there's a disk error.
Yeah.
And so I went back literally 30 minutes later. And she's like, no, you did this. I'm like, okay, one, what's the benefit of me doing that? And because it's just wasting 30 minutes of my time to gash a disc and bring it back and be like, oh, you guys gave me a bad disc. Like, I'm like,
I could have been playing this game for 30 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's you
and-
know what? Oh, sorry.
and I was like, okay, bitch, I get it.
You know what's interesting to me is this podcast or this episode that we're doing about the stock market. We were getting deep into it, and you were going to look up stuff and Melvin Capital and everything like that, and your laptop mysteriously crashed.
That's also
CIA.
Ooh, the FBI.
I'm kind
They've
of
been watching this laptop for
NSA.
2 years. They've
Hey.
been watching this motherfucker
It's like
laptop.
the minute he's talking about it, it's like, nope, nah, you don't get to talk about the stock
dude,
market.
it's
You're
literally
done.
Al's gonna get home and his laptop's gonna just fucking
Take
go
a
fucking
shit.
I'm
blue
surprised it's
screen.
not on fire right now.
Yeah.
I have so much shit on here that's just like, yeah.
So
this
much
is why
more.
it's fucked. This is why they're
Also,
wrong.
while we were doing this podcast, old Steam message from Dylan popped up when he's sitting across from me. A couple other apps on my computer opened up.
Did the live reset?
Nope, live's going.
It says 12 minutes 45 seconds.
It does too.
Does it really?
Yes, sir.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, even mine said something happened. Bro, did we just get fucking canned on live air?
Dude, you got Epstein.
Did we just get canned on live air? What
Bro, I
the
think
fuck?
we got canned on live air, bro.
It says something
Dude,
went
no
to-
way.
They want... Oh, man. That's fucked. That's actually fucking fucked.
All right, well, this is where we're going to end this episode.
I'm scared. Everybody watch your tails on the way home. Like,
None of us are
make-
gonna commit suicide.
make
I'll
3
say
lefts.
that.
I'm not depressed. I mean, I am, but I'm not gonna kill myself. Always
All right.
make 3 lefts before you get home, so you know you can make sure you don't have a tail. But that's fucking.
So,
Damn,
yeah.
I gotta go straight the whole way.
Fuck. Go past it, turn around, then backtrack. Holy fuck.
So, yeah, we're going to end the episode without... We don't have the music because my laptop might have been hacked by the
NSA.
Federal government.
Just
No,
fucking
not
hold
really.
GME, hold GME.
Yeah,
That's
hold
all.
GME, yeah,
hold.
that's
have
fun.
Bang gang,
have
dude.
diamond hands, fuck paper hands.
Diamond hands for days.
But so yeah, as always, follow us on Twitter at Deborah K Pod, Instagram at Deborah K Podcast. Head up to Patreon, patreon.com/Deborah K Pod. Links to everything, DeborahKPodcast.com. Don't follow us home.
Don't follow us home tonight.
Yeah, tonight is the one time, please. I repeat, I know I said it in the beginning of the episode, but it's fucking... If I see someone following me home, I'm going to drift into a U-turn, and I'm going to smash you head fucking on.